Yeah, that nigga Leto. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't even feel like doing this shit today. I was about to say, motherfucker, short. I was on D shit for so long. No bullshit. But we gonna get to it. Let me bring this energy to the game real quick, man. Bring this energy to the game real quick. I can't believe it. I can't believe it, man. I just can't believe it. I'm fucking in shock. I'm in shock. I'm in shock. So I gotta put two hands on you. You heard? I'm in shock. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, though. I'm just saying, though. I'm in shock. I'm in shock. God damn it. George, salute. How you feeling today, sir? How's life treating you? How's everything in the world of George? Tony Lyons, salute. Good evening, my G. Yeah. Waiting for the gang to get up in here. Chan Smoke, salute. Gang. Don't get it popping, man. I'm just so shocked, y'all. Y'all already know where I'm going, man. I'm just shocked, man. I can't believe this shit, man. I just want somebody to help me put this stuff in perspective, man. So maybe I can understand the logic of what he's trying to do here. Jay Blues and Boxing, salute, my brother. How you feeling this evening? You know, I just, maybe my fellow brethren can help me put in perspective what's going on here, because I'm having the hardest time trying to understand why Dillian Whyte. And I understand the split is amicable. I know it's a lot of respect there. Kerry Willis, salute. Birmingham, UK in the building. My brother, don't ask me, salute. I'm just having the hardest time trying to understand where's Dillian Whyte head at. You know, I understand he's in Portugal, and I understand Mark Tibbs in the UK, but I mean, that shit right there was an absolutely beautiful, that was a beautiful marriage right there, man. Pause, man. Like I keep saying, man, a coach and a fighter is like a relationship, man. And you just can't dance with anybody. You gotta fight. You gotta have the right dancing partner. And Dillian Whyte for certain had the right dancing partner who was making him fundamentally and technically sound, man. And you could just see him getting better, fight by fight, regardless of adversity. So for it to be 6 weeks out for the biggest fight in your entire life, I don't care if Povetkin is 40. We have to understand that Povetkin, in my opinion, he beat Michael Hunter scraped him by a point or two. In my opinion, people could have it a point the other way, as we always say. But in my opinion, I feel like Povetkin beat that man. This man, just like I put up in the video, he talking about he want to tear up. Bro, no. What are you talking about you want to tear up? Nigga, you want to tear up, grab a sheet of fucking paper out your kid fucking notebook. But bump all of that. This dude is dangerous. His left hook is dangerous. He has hell of experience with hella champions. He keep his head off the line. He might even keep his head off the line better than you when he uses his jab. He's dangerous. He only has 2 losses, and they are by fucking a few good men, I must say. When it's Klitschko and it's Anthony Joshua, I'd say, yeah, a motherfucker might get scraped. But 6 weeks out, bro, nothing is outside of what he said. The distance between the two, I take everything Dillian Whyte says for face value. Of course, if it make fucking sense. Crash test dummy. But this just doesn't make any sense to me, man. Luis Puente, salute. According to Dillian Whyte, they're saying it's an amicable they're saying it's an amicable split based on the two. Mark Tibbs has a young son, he has a young family, and he just opened up his new gym in the UK. Dillian Whyte has been in Portugal. So in his mind, they couldn't work things out. They couldn't see eye to eye, I guess, on training scheduling and stuff because of where both of the individuals are at, what Mark Tibbs has going on in the UK, and apparently what Dillian's got going on in Portugal. My thing is Dillian left for Portugal for whatever reason that was, but your trainer is in the UK, bruh. Y'all motherfuckers go together like peanut butter and grape jelly, bro. So 6 fights out before the biggest fight of your life, man. I just can't. I can't make sense of that. So I want somebody to help me make sense of it because, of course, hypothetically speaking, I'm trying to put it in the best perspective I can. But I mean, to be realistic, I got to always call it down the middle, man. I got to call it down the middle. And motherfuckers just not going to have to fucking like it. 6 weeks out from the biggest fight of your fucking career, that's fucking stupid. It's stupid. Jonathan Banks couldn't do what he did for you. If Mark Tibbs was in your corner when you fought Anthony Joshua, I'm pretty sure it probably could have been a different outcome. Take nothing away from Jonathan Banks, but he is not the type of coach you need. But that coach right there, that was the coach you needed for the entire duration of your career. He knows you. He knows what to do with you. Who's going to know what to do with you in 6 weeks? I know you're a headstrong individual. I know you handle your own business, but shit, man. Shit, like, come on, help me understand 6 weeks before the biggest fight in your life. I'm about to drop this link right now so anybody can come up and join this topic. But I just need to understand, bro. Yo, we all love boxing here. Who does shit like that? Salute, JD. You know I'm going to crank it up, man. We just getting started, man. I'm highly disappointed for the fact that that's my fucking guy, man. I've been rooting for this guy, and I'm going to continue rooting for this guy. But I don't want this dude to be in any type of situation where he could potentially lose. I don't want to see him fail. But if he's going to take an L, I want him to take a fucking L in that mandatory spot for a WBC belt. Not from Povetkin and not being off of the back of a so-called amicable split with Mark Tibbs, and you got this new coach in your corner. Man, you can't pull the Derek Chisora, bro. You can't do that, man. Come on, bro. Like, I'm just, we all rooting for him, right? So it's like, what are we doing? Michael Turton says, Dillian Whyte's fed up being Eddie Hearn's puppet. And he has AJ on his books too. Whyte is a mandatory WBC and Hearn's mugging him off. I wouldn't say he's mugging him off, but you got to look at the circumstances like this. Dillian Whyte is on a one-fight basis. It is on a one-fight basis. If I'm a promoter, I got to be loyal to the guy that's locked in. Eddie Hearn did everything he's supposed to do for Dillian Whyte. But Joshua is the cash fucking cow. Joshua's locked in. He's got big business with Joshua, whether it's Sky Sport, whether it's Matchroom, whether it's the Zone. He's locked in with Joshua. Dillian Whyte is on a fight-by-fight basis. Now, if we're speaking on the unified titles, if he fucking fought Anthony Joshua and ran off with the titles to the PBC or something, would that make sense if you were the promoter? Absolutely not. You got to have something in writing with this guy to make sure that he just don't take the belts and he don't run off on you. I know Eddie Hearn cares about Dillian Whyte. I know Eddie Hearn's got, he got love for Dillian Whyte. But this dude is on a fight-by-fight basis. Eddie Hearn gives all of his fighters the opportunity to do what they want. This is the road he chose. We know how they play, man. But at the same time, it's like, bruh, he on a fight-by-fight basis. We dealing with Anthony Joshua. It's got to make sense. It's got to make sense business-wise as well. And what Dillian Whyte's doing right now on the path he's on, it make the most sense. Because if he gets that WBC belt, it make all the sense for him to come back to Matchroom, put them things with Anthony Joshua, and them boys have a super huge domestic dust-up. You ain't got to worry about it not being in the UK or nothing because you know Dillian Whyte going to represent it, and you know they going to have that thing there. But he on a fucking one-fight deal, man. I don't think he's mugging them off. I just got to look at the situation realistically. We're looking at it from a business aspect as well. I just can't shit on Eddie Hearn. You know what I mean? Like I just can't shit on him for that reason. Because I got to be understanding of both sides of the situation. Dillian Whyte winning right now. I just don't think that it's the smartest decision for him to drop Mark Tibbs at all. my bad. I jumped out the shit on accident, man, trying to fucking click the link and shit. So Dylan said about 4 weeks ago, Dylan is in Portugal. His coach is in the UK with family. Yeah, right, Davey. You know, and I'm understanding of all of that. I'm understanding of all of that. But shit, you know your coach is in the UK. You need to bring your ass up out of fucking Portugal then, because I don't care who you bring along. Whatever Dillian Whyte's going to do, he's going to do it based off of the back of the muscle memory and everything he learned with Mark Tibbs right now. And exert a little bit of of course some will. You know what I mean? Show some, some mental fortitude and get through the shit. Just don't, like, yo, that's not wise, man. It's not fucking wise. Grow a salute. It's not wise to me at all. I just don't, like, yo, if he lose this fight, I'm telling you, at this point right now, I was heavily leaning towards Dillian Whyte. But now this is a 50-50 fight, and Povetkin it's been a 50-50 fight, but now Povetkin got a hell of a strong chance of winning this goddamn fight. I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. As much as it hurts me to fucking part my lips to say that shit, for it to breach my fucking lips, Povetkin got a real strong chance of winning this shit. And the scariest man on the floor is the motherfucker with nothing to lose. Povetkin don't have nothing to lose. And he confident right now. He just fought a young dude that was in the top 10. Man, this shit could get ugly, bro. I'm trying to tell you. Hey, August 22nd, I hope all y'all tune in, because this shit gonna be ugly. And it's gonna be 10 to 12 rounds ugly. I promise you that. All right, let me just get this link in here. Start running my mouth and shit. Dragon Leg, I see you up in here, bro. We got you the wrench. I ain't know you ain't have one. Got to get my man one. Nigga been day one. Salute to you, brother. Mr. Spook, salute. Yeah, man, he the lone wolf, but shit, man, don't be the lone dumbass. Don't be the lone jackass, bro. Man, good coaches is hard to find, man. And I'm telling you, all of these star-studded coaches don't mean you're going to mesh well with them, bro. That dude meshed well with that dude. That dude and that dude coached well with that dude. Like, them two, it's like, yo, them niggas is like, I ain't going to call them niggas Batman and Robin, man. Them niggas something way tougher than that. Like, ain't no little sidekick in that situation. Both of them dudes equally as strong on the coaching end and on the fighting end. You know what I'm saying? Dillian Whyte, world level. Mark Tibbs has proved he's a world level fucking coach. Like, there are so many people that I would send to him because he will make him a fucking dog, and he's technical as fuck. Now Dillian Whyte's not there. It's just like, yo, you must be hyper fucking confident right now and feeling yourself, bruh. I don't care who you bring in. If it's unfamiliar, man, you're going to be in unfamiliar territory. Outside of knowing what you got to deal with, bruh. It's going to be some shit that go wrong, man. The regimen changed, bro. How much are you going to try to change in a short amount of time? Who is going to be the guy that comes in? Who can be the guy that can fill this spot? I'm curious. Brown gone one, salute, my G. I think Povetkin is not considered as highly as he should, because he is one of the fighters AJ beat. You know, Croy, you might be absolutely fucking right, man. And if that's the case, that's a goddamn problem, because this dude is ranked number 6 across all sanctioning freaking bodies, man. 5 and some of them do, and he's been getting busy, man. I can't take nothing away from Povetkin. Povetkin is tough. Povetkin is a live body at freaking 40. He's proved it. He's proved it his last fight. And experience carries over. And we know the last thing to go is always power. It's always power. Povetkin, like I said, man, Dillian Whyte is in the most dangerous position he could ever be in his life, and he just made it that much more of a hot seat for himself by letting him go. You shouldn't have did. In my eyes, I don't like the move. I respect Dillian Whyte so much, you know what I'm saying? I want to see what comes out of the move, but I don't like it. And you know, I'm all ears, but I don't know if anybody can help me understand this shit. Shane McGuigan is a beast. So he went with Shane? Is that what he did? Xavier Miller is his new trainer? Fuck out of here with that shit, man. Good luck with that shit. Like, for real, I like Shane McGuigan more. Shane McGuigan had Josh Taylor nice. Nice. You know, I could see Dillian Whyte going with him and doing something. Michael Turton salute with the super sticker. I could definitely see Dillian Whyte going with him and doing something. Xavier Miller, I don't know about that one. Massive for Whyte. Got to get there. Shame to fall on the last hurdle. Absolutely. It's extremely massive. And you got to lock it and focus. And my thing is, how truly focused is a fighter when you cut, you know what I'm saying? When you cut a coach that y'all motherfuckers were like, y'all, if he was the right hand, you would have left. Or vice versa. That's how good they were together. So somebody like, yo, you can't bring in somebody new at this short of time and then just, you know what I'm saying, expect me to fucking feel any type of comfort about the shit. I don't. I just don't think that's the answer, bro. We know how that man look, man. Boxing just different, man. It's just different, bro. You just can't be playing hopscotch with fucking coaches, man. You can't. He was like Jonathan Banks, wasn't it? When he had him, when he got with Mark Tibbs, you could clearly see the progression. Fight by fight, spar by spar, practice by practice. You could constantly see the progression every fight. Like now, it's kind of square one. Because when a different trainer comes in, they try to take things that they feel as though you don't do well and make them better. They usually don't try to add on. They try to take different things that you aren't good at and make it better. It's a fucking trainer's job. So you're going to be trying to add on different shit. Like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. But it don't look good to me. It don't look good to me. P-Box, salute.
What's up? What are you saying, bro? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm just sitting here, man. I'm just trying to sit here. I'm just reflecting on the news that I got a few hours ago about Dillian Whyte, you know, dropping, you know, Mark Tibbs. And I understand they say it's amicable, man, but when you 6 weeks from, you know, the biggest fight in your life, and you clearly got a live body across the ring from you in Alexander Povetkin, and he arguably, you know, people, you know, you can look at it either way, that he beat Michael Hunter, or Michael Hunter, you know, edged him out, or it was just a straight draw. Look at it either way. This dude has absolutely nothing to lose. He's in the twilight of his fucking career, and he's got a chance to win an interim belt and have a chance at a mandatory spot. He's at his most, he's extremely lethal right now. And being 6 weeks away from the fight, and Dillian Whyte, you know, not being with Mark Tibbs, and I feel like that was his trainer. That was the guy. You could see him excel with Mark Tibbs. 6 weeks away from the biggest fight of your career. I don't know about that, dude.
I think that something happened. I think definitely they had some sort of misunderstanding, because Richard Riakporhe as well, he left him as well. So I think something's up, unless Richard Riakporhe is in Portugal as well. So it doesn't make sense for two fighters, you know, to leave him like that. Maybe Mark Tibbs, I don't know. Maybe they had arguments. Something doesn't add up.
Yeah, like, you know, if Riakporhe left as well, isn't Riakporhe, you know, one of Dillian Whyte's fighters?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. He's his friend, that's for sure.
Definitely, and I think Dillian Whyte promotes him as well. And
yeah.
So, you know, I wonder what it could be, man. Because, you know, I know there's enough respect between both sides to where they're not going to air out anything dirty. So whatever they're going to do it with class and respect. So whatever it is, I'm sure it's going to seep out in the end. But for what I got in the news articles, it just didn't make any sense to me. I'm like, man, for the past 4 years, you guys have been on a tear. And now during the biggest fight of your career, he's just not there. But you guys say it's amicable. So I can rock with that. But something ain't right, man. Something ain't right,
yeah, that's for sure. Because he's fighting what? He's fighting August, innit? So that's like what? Less than what?
6 weeks,
6 weeks, yeah, less than 2 months away. And they split up, and then they're making out that it's, you know, it's not as bad as what they're making out to be. I think they're making out like it's just, you know, a friendly breakout, but I think it's more than what it is. We're probably going to hear more in the coming weeks or days, because the guy got a fight in 6 weeks' time. Why would you leave your trainer? Unless they split up a while ago and they just, just broke the news now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, it's just one of those things, man, where it's just baffling for me, man, because, just in my lifetime and just enjoying fighting and just I'm trying to understand the sweet science the best way I can on the inner workings and the outer workings. That's just something a fighter usually doesn't do.
Yeah.
And if a fighter does that, that's telling me something's extremely wrong. But of course, they're just not trying to voice it and make a bigger debacle out of it than what it has to be. So they don't want to, just overly over-bloviate the situation. They just want to kind of keep it on the hush. So whatever it is, it's just it's funny. It's got me questioning things, and it's got me questioning how he's going to perform on the 22nd. And considering what is Povetkin thinking about this right now.
I think he's laughing. I think he's laughing because, but I got a feeling anyway, they split up a while ago. Do you know what I mean? Because Dillian's been in Portugal since April, something like that. Even maybe before that, before this COVID, the quarantine stuff, before it all been announced. I think he flew up there. And, I think they split up a while ago, because it wouldn't make no sense for them to split up, 6 weeks before his big fight. Remember, if Povetkin wins this fight, he's going to be the interim champion. And he's going to be next for the title. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. He just got a fight with Dillian Whyte, slid right up in that mandatory spot. And all of that time, Dillian Whyte had to, air out his grievances and go through that thousands of days worth of drama with the WBC. It slipped right out of your hands. And every single time, and I was even saying, man, I said this on several videos and several lives. I said at this point, I wouldn't even care if Dillian Whyte just took soft touches up until he got to the mandatory. That's kind of what I wanted for him, because he's done everything he's had to do. You don't have to prove anything else to me. All you got to do is become a world champion. That is it. So I kind of preferred that he would have coasted to it, because I didn't want to see him lose it. But hey, if you want to stay in the fire, man, hey, it's all on you. But now that your head coach isn't there and you're switching trainers, that kind of makes me a little leery. Kind of makes me leery, man. And I just don't, hey, unfamiliar territory, man, makes me uncomfortable.
It's certainly uncomfortable. It's certainly uncomfortable, but you know what? I know Dillian Whyte knows what he's doing. Otherwise, he wouldn't have done this. And the only suspect thing is that why is Richard Riakporhe, why is he not with Tibbs anymore? Do you know what I mean? So that's what makes it more suspect. I don't know, man, because they were saying like Mark Tibbs, he's got his own gym in the UK. So maybe it's Mark Tibbs himself that doesn't want to work with Dillian Whyte. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense at all. He seemed to be a better fighter under him, but maybe he's got somebody even better. Who knows?
Maybe
all secret, maybe.
Maybe so. But see, when I look at a fighter, man, and I can see the changes, like, drastically. I can see you drastically improving per fight. That shit kind of makes me like, man, I got to see where this goes. Like, this thing has got to continue to keep going, man, because I'm like, you guys, y'all got it. You know what I'm saying? You two are meant for each other. But now when it kind of switches up, like I said, I'm a firm believer. I believe in Dillian Whyte. I trust in Dillian Whyte. But at the same time, I would be being fake if I didn't say the process right now makes me a little leery. And I understand he's been in Portugal. I understand he's been in Portugal since April or whatever, but shit, man, it ain't like I've been seeing the motherfucker train like that. You know what I mean? It ain't like people been doing much. I've been seeing a whole lot of interviews. I mean, and I'm just saying, I know the dude work or whatever, but I'm just saying, come on, man. Like, this is some bullshit behind this, bro. This just
it's definitely a bullshit, like you said, because at the same time, you have to remember as well, Dillian Whyte, he hasn't looked great. His last fight against Marius Wack, previous before that as well, when he fought Oscar Rivas, he looked, shit as well. So maybe there's, maybe Dillian Whyte doesn't feel, that he should be with him anymore. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. But at the same time, why would Mark Tibbs leave him? Because Dillian Whyte, he's a pay-per-view fighter. He's getting a lot of money. So
right. I
who
don't
has
see
Mark Tibbs got? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't see Mark Taylor leaving his best fighter. And on top of that, my whole thing is like, yo, it's just like when I watched the Oscar Rivas fight, I seen a heavy improvement in him staying behind his jab. He did a beautiful jab work staying behind his jab. But at the same time, every fight this man had to endure and go through for the past year and some change, he's been dealing with adversity. He's been dealing with Eddie Hearn. He's been dealing with the WBC. So this man hasn't genuinely went into one fight without having to worry about some sort of bullshit getting in the way. So I'm just like, man, it just, of course right now, even though I know this is on his terms, I'm just like, it's always something in the middle of what this man got going on. So I'm just like, hey, like, I don't know if he really, I don't think he need more headlines, man. I just think he just need to stay fucking focused and stay out the way. But like I said, man, I would love to know who is truly in this corner, because I haven't heard it announced yet, because I would already did a video on it. And, hey, man, like I said, you're not dealing with the dude you fighting isn't regular, man. And he got a devastating left hook. And like I said, he fucking moves that fucking head and he works that fucking jab, and he's a dog. So you're going to have to go in there and fight, and you're going to have to fight your fucking ass off. So, I just hope that you made the best move, because like I said, bro, I want to see you fucking win. I will say that again. I want to see him win. And that's the bottom line. I just want to see him win.
I think, there's a lot going on. It's just, like I said again, I keep repeating myself, but yeah, something is up, and we might never find out, or maybe we will find out. But unless someone got Mark Tibbs' number, that's the only way to find out. But Dillian Whyte ain't saying nothing anyway. You know what I mean? When Dillian Whyte posted it on his Instagram, because that's how he broke the news. He said nice stuff about Mark Tibbs. It sounds like the reason why it's like a long distance relationship kind of thing. One person is in Portugal, you know what I mean? The other guy is in the UK. That's how Dillian Whyte is putting it. But this is money, this is business at the end of the day. Why would you, leave your trainer short, when you got to fight in 6 weeks' time? That's just doesn't make sense at all for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, definitely. Like I said, 6 weeks, that's a month and a half. Let's put that in perspective. When you put it 6 weeks, it kind of sound kind of stretched, but it's a month and a half. He literally has a month and a half outside of whatever else he was doing. I know they had a long time. I know they had a long time to keep Povetkin on his mind. But really, with everything that was going on, was Povetkin really on his mind that entire time he was down? Was that on really anybody's mind, other than the fact that I knew he had the fight coming up in, first it was supposed to be 4th of July, correct? So the fight didn't happen 4th of July, so I'm assuming that he was training then. My whole thing is, hopefully, he's not overtraining and gassing himself out. I think, he probably got something waiting in the wings, or he's probably taking the teachings or whatever Mark Tibbs already gave him to work with going into this fight. Hopefully he already has it logged in the memory bank so he can just go in and execute it. Because like I said, once again, it all fucking becomes muscle memory after a while. Once you keep doing it, and repetition over and over and over again, it becomes muscle memory. So hopefully he's just been, being studious, studying the fighter, and, taking advantage of his situation. Now, on another note, since we're talking trainers, Gervonta Tank Davis was working with Buddy McGirt yesterday. So I don't know if he officially left Calvin, but I'm thinking it might be with Buddy McGirt now.
It might be, because he was, remember about a month ago, he was pissed off that when Mayweather was training Devin Haney, he was kind of pissed off. Maybe he's just, got this new trainer. It could be that, or maybe they're just training. It's a one-off. Maybe just to scare off, the others. I don't know, man. These people are like playing games, man. You know what I mean? No one wants to be real in this COVID-19 quarantine. Like, we're all indoors, stuff like that. Yeah, all these fighters are giving like fake beef. And when it comes to it, I just want to see, man. It's just, that's why I'm kind of giving up on boxing lately, man. It's just, everyone's just messing about. You know what I mean?
Man, look, Ever since, you know, this whole pandemic has been going down, I've been paying attention to the actions of all of these fighters and what they have been doing. But the one thing, you know what I'm saying, that I've been highly impressed with outside of, you know what I mean, these fighters, these lower budget fighters with belts that feel so much about themselves, the guys who make the most money in all of boxing, the two individuals who make the most money in all of boxing, they wanted to fight with no crowds. And they were willing to sacrifice pay cuts and everything to fight with no crowds. I've heard David Lemieux. I've heard Billy Joe Saunders. I've heard Caleb Plant. I've heard Demetrius Andre all say they're not going to fight with no crowds. They're not going to fight, in nobody's backyard. They're going to fight in front of a crowd and see them get knocked out in front of thousands of people, et cetera, et cetera. Who the fuck do you think you are to be in a position where you can call shots against a guy like Canelo? If he's giving you the opportunity and you got the opportunity to take it, you talked all of that shit, go in there and whoop on them. Every single one of them asked for it and they didn't take it, man. It's just funny to me how Anthony Joshua and Canelo want to fight, but none of these dudes do, but they asking for the shit.
They're all playing games, this is the thing, like boxing, before this COVID, like I said, before that, we never got to see the good fights, and I don't think we're going to get to see a good fight. The next good fight is probably going to be, Joyce against Dubois. Did you hear about Joyce and Dubois? They got like fights coming up, tune-up fights. I think Joyce got one coming up the 25th of July.
Absolutely, and, right.
And what's his name? Dubois got one coming up in August. So
yeah,
I want to see that. I want to see how they are, because apparently they got like ring rust. So they want to, shake it off a bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Both of those guys haven't been in fights since 2019, man. Dubois, I think was the last one who had the fight last. Like, he closed out with Fujimoto, right before.
Yeah, he knocked him out in the first round. He knocked him out in the first round. Yeah.
Right, and Joyce he beat Brian Jennings. So yeah, they both. Yeah. I'm full. Yeah, both of them definitely need to get a fight. You know what I mean? Get their blood flowing, get moving around the ring. It'll be good to see them both. It'll be good to see them in the ring, both moving around and working on some things. And then I believe in October they're supposed to fight, either October, December, one of the two. I know that for a fact. And then Loma versus Teofimo has been pushed back to October. And then I believe, in August, the zone's putting on a bunch of cards. We got in the Dillian Whyte, with the Dillian Whyte-Povetkin fight, we're getting Delphine Persoon's Katie Taylor too. So that's going to be a good-ass card. And if anybody cares about the little guys, we got Julio Cesar Martinez. So, the zone's trying to put on stuff, in August or whatever. But my whole thing is this. You're going to fucking drown if you don't find a way to put on the cards that you would put on weekend after weekend. And I had the perfect solution, bruh. I said, all y'all got to do, you can run protocol or whatever. You can run protocol all you want, but every country, all it has to do, all of these countries with stadiums, like, y'all got the huge soccer stadiums over there. Like us, we got the huge football stadiums and stuff like that, basketball arenas and all of that. Our college football stadiums, like Ohio State, seats over 105,000 people. So with that being said, you can spread people out by a seat or two, put them in there, put the boxing ring on the damn field, and then that way you can fill out the house, you can get tickets, you can get money off the gate, and you can still run a fight. But something's got to give. You just can't keep doing it like that.
Something's got to give. I think they're letting all the pubs and all that in the UK. It's like, I don't know if you guys got pubs in America, but, they're all open now, so people can drink in the pubs. But the nightclubs are not open yet. We got most of the shops now, so people are all next to each other anyway. So they might as well even fight in the normal arenas and stuff like that. I don't know, because the government said, you could keep like a 1 meter, space and all that. Yeah, as long as you're like 1 meter away from each other, that's fine. The 2 meter rule now is gone now, so 1 meter is not that. They can, you can have like 20,000 seat, arena, and you can get the people around now. Why not?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Because if you think about like guys like Andre, Billy Joe Saunders, and all those other guys, they're only going to bring depending on who they fight, they're going to bring out 10,000 people, 12,000, 14,000, 15,000 people. I
think Billy Joe will, if he fights in the UK. If he fights in the UK, Billy Joe probably will.
But Andre only going to bring out probably like anywhere between like 9 and 12,000 in Providence. I think he did something like that last time he fought at home. But my whole thing is, man, if you guys don't do it, if boxing doesn't make a move now, like realistically, man, I was watching the news this morning, and over here in the States, everybody's at the beaches. Everybody's at the
everyone at the beach.
Side by side. They're at the beaches. They at the bars. You know what I mean? Y'all call them pubs. We call them bars over here. They're at the bars. They drinking. Everybody chilling. Everybody swimming, playing football. They doing all types of stuff. So my whole thing is, I'm like, who are we kidding here? Actually, nobody is social distancing. Nobody is taking this stuff serious. So I'm like, look, man, let's use these big ass stadiums that you guys take, you know, our tax dollars and suck up the state's money. Why don't you use it to put on a damn boxing match? Why don't you use it to put on, you know, they do so many things. We've witnessed it all the time. That's something they could do easily. If you're running COVID-19 testing on the street, goddamn it, you can run it at the fucking gate. Exactly.
Who's that? Who's next to us? Someone's next. Someone's online.
Salute. What's good, brother?
Yep. Thanks for having me on.
And you know you always welcome.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much, man. Big up the people in the chat.
You thought I was playing, huh? I told you. I said anytime you pull up, you got the lifetime membership badge.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it too, man, because I like talking a bit of boxing with objective minds.
Definitely, man. Definitely. It's nothing like some good old boxing talk, man. And then when Jay Blues and boxing get up here, man, we could really get going.
Yeah, I saw Jay Blues in the chat. I think he's preparing to come on, but he said he was cooking some food. So
hungry ass.
So he wants a couple of minutes. So I think he'll soon be on here.
Not a problem. We're definitely gonna be some minutes, man. I'm just like, look, right? Because when the first Top Rank card happened, I even said it on the live, you know, I kind of tore it down before I even had the opportunity to see it, because the fighters who were fighting were completely I almost regurgitated. Literally almost threw up on myself, because I was like, this shit is disgusting.
Oh, there's a fight on tonight.
I was just like,
there's a fight on tonight, isn't it? There's a fight on tonight.
Yeah,
I think Carlos
Takam versus Forrest. Yep, that's going to be a good one. And you know,
Big Baby Miller, and the Gerard Anderson's fighting in it, the real Big Baby.
Facts. And you know, I felt some type of way for the fact that I shitted on boxing, right? So I went and made a tweet and said, you know, I always talk about honoring the game, so I must do that myself. For the fact that I shitted on a Top Rank card, I apologize. And I said I would never do it again, because my whole thing is to see boxing moving forward. You know, I'm always supposed to embrace the sport, uplift the sport, and honor the sport. But I'm like, come on, guys. You're making it fucking hard. I'm growing gray hair over here. You're driving me freaking insane. You guys need to make something happen. I need to see a big event, big bout, big something. Give me something. Unrivaled salute.
Can I speak for a moment?
Absolutely.
Mr. Two Hands, I need to come clean about something.
Do it, my friend.
About 2.5, 3 years ago, when I joined the YTBC, I started talking to people within the LBBC, okay? Hear me out. And I was cool with them, and I lied to them about who I was. I gave them a fake name. I also gave them a fake job. I told them everything, and they believed me. They thought I was the chief lawyer for Matchroom Sports, and now everybody's trying to expose me as a fraud.
What?
And this is all true. This is
who's that? Who's exposing you?
What? I'm like, yo, you just put me all the way in the Twilight Zone. I'm so lost right now.
It's all true, and I'm going to be exposed by a 16-year-old Mexican kid about what I did 3 years ago when it was already exposed by somebody else, and I can't live with the shame.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Not a 16-year-old. You know, you got problems on your hands, man. They fight dirty. They go for the ankles.
I'm so scared. I'm so scared. Two Hands. Why? How can I live with the shame of telling the LDBC I was the main lawyer for Matchroom and they believed me? They believed me. They believed me with my 12 subscribers that I was the main lawyer for Matchroom. How could I do such a thing?
Somebody getting shaded here.
I believe so.
So who's gonna expose you, Mark? Is it Coco Taylor? Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? It's going to be as credible as you exposing Alexander. You listen. It's going to be as credible as you exposing Alexander Usyk for being hit to the body and being dropped when he was pushed and slipped off balance before the shot even landed. It's going to be incredible, Pep. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be like when you came onto YouTube saying that your favorite channels are sport and icons, and you realized there's no views in it, so you flipped over to support him with the LDBC. I'm so frightened.
I am with the LDBC. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
No, I remember you being my favorite channels are Hatman and Sport, and then you realize views aren't in that, so views are with the LDBC. I support you 100%. I understand. I understand pep boxing. I understand, my brother. I remember why you came on here. You came onto YouTube for your daughter. You came on to make things better for her. And I know why you're doing that for the views. I understand why. It makes sense. And don't let anybody ever tell you you shouldn't do it. Hold on, 2 hands.
Unrivaled. Calm down a bit, man. You haven't had your medicine. Calm down a bit.
Dude, it's getting trippy, man.
It's getting
trippy,
crazy,
man. Hey, listen, man. Look, right. P, I never knew you were with the LDBC. But see, that's the thing.
Nah. Listen. I'm not official member, but I like the LDBC. No, I don't work with them, but I'm always in their chats and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Man, I go to Unrivaled chat as well. I don't know why Unrivaled you're getting funny with me, because I go to your chats as well. Like, I don't know why, like, you have to like insult me now that I go to the LDBC. You know what I mean? I don't get it. Why do you have to do that,
what I said. No, hold on. You're saying what I said is an insult. Everything I said is true.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. You're insulting me by just telling everyone like it's just.
But that's not an insult. That's not an insult. It's just true. It's just true.
Bro, listen.
I used to be a liar. Now I'm telling the truth, and now I'm being rude to people. How can I be such a horrible person? Did you hear what you just said? You're being rude to me for telling the truth.
Listen, at the end of the day, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I'm down with people, you know, if they're talking about boxing. You know what I mean? That's why I'm here, talking about boxing, the stuff that I know. You know what I mean? And that's it. YouTube, it's YouTube at the end of the day. Right. Like, people can say whatever they want. You know what I mean?
Look, you gotta see. Look, this is why, like, I never like get like crossed up, because everything that I encounter, I take it as satire. Like, truly, because it's like, how much can an individual in a freaking square that I can only touch the glass on my fucking phone? Like,
exactly.
You know, like how much is one Hollywood square, or one YouTube Hollywood square, I should say? How much is that truly affecting me if somebody says something derogatory or tries to say something demeaning? I must have the freaking hide of silk if that's the case.
Exactly.
You know, I like to think that I'd like to think of, you know, my you know, I like to think that I have the hide of, you know, a crocodile. Pretty strong, rough, rugged shit, you know, something that's pretty impenetrable. Like, I don't get all twisted and bent out of shape. Like, when El Jefe, anybody rolls through here, I freaking laugh at them, or I'll chew them up real quick and spit them out. But it's all about boxing. It's all love at the end of the day. I rock with everybody, man. And I make jokes out of what I find ignorant.
Can I ask the LD? I never had this as a part of a plan or anything, but on finding out that we have an LDBC member on our panel, I want to ask him a question.
Wait, don't forget me. Don't forget me. I'm a former LDBC person.
You fucking traitor. You damn flip-flopper.
No, man. Is there? Do you consider that there's any credibility to Glove Gay?
Get him, South.
Yeah. That's my question, my brother.
For who?
What me? Yeah. You're asking me that?
Yeah. What's your
Okay, let me say something. Let me say something to Unrivaled. Yeah, Unrivaled. I watched your video when you said, you know, the pictures was like photoshopped, and it's been proven it's not photoshopped at all.
I know,
You know
that's
what I mean?
true. No, hold on.
But you made a video.
True. No, wait, stop for a second. Stop for a second. Stop for a second.
You're wrong with it.
No, stop for a second. Stop
You're wrong
before
with it,
you say. No, can you let me speak?
Oh shit! It's
Can you let
getting
me
lit.
speak? Watch this. Watch this. The very next video, I say, turns out they weren't photoshopped. And what did I say? Well, hey, let's have a look at the other glove. Let's have a look at Wilder's glove on the picture before, and that's smushed in too.
Okay, at the end of the day, but there's no doubt that Fury, you know, he took the, you know, the padding off. Somebody done it because you could see how flat it is. Nicholas Asbury.
But you can see the same thing in Wilder's glove in the picture right beforehand. Go and have a look.
Nicholas Asbury exposed him.
Nicholas Asbury took hold on. Nicholas Asbury took a sparring. No. Nicholas Asbury uploaded a sparring glove of Tyson Fury supposedly from a trash can on October. When he hadn't sparred him in October, he sparred him in April. How the fuck did he have a Tyson Fury sparring glove in a bin from Tyson Fury's training camp 6 months later in a different state to where he was when it was originally in England? Please explain. I will wait on that.
I didn't hear that, but can you say that again? Because I had something.
I'm not saying all that shit again. I'm just saying. Are you serious? This motherfucker. Listen.
Let me tell you something.
No. Let me tell you something. You can hyperbole all you want. You can bring up all the beliefs you want. Nicholas Asprey is using a glove from 6 months prior, allegedly, when he's sparring. Do you know what can happen to a glove in 6 months' time? Because he uploaded that in October. Fury didn't start sparring until November, right? And he wasn't a part of that sparring camp. He's talking about sparring Fury for the original Wilder fight, and he's uploaded that in October 2019, not October 2018. So 2019,
yes, I know.
Yes, so the glove shit that he's doing, the dates don't add up. None of it makes sense, and you've no proof that that's even Tyson Fury's sparring glove.
And I just want to say one thing because I actually use. Hold on one second. I just want to say one thing, segueing off of it, because I actually use the strapped and the lace glove that everybody complains about, and the actual lace Everlast MX gloves. They are. If you go and look on anybody in the chat, go pull up authentic. Go pull up professional boxing gloves and pull up Everlast MX gloves. And when you look at them, you will see they're kind of concaved on the front. They're actually an offensive glove that Mexican fighters and offensive fighters love to use because they got less padding and they hit harder, but they're authorized. So they're complaining about a glove that's legal. I mean,
yeah, but normally, like he uses like Everlast gloves. So now, you know, suddenly he's using, you know, Paffron gloves, the make of Paffron. I believe it's made in Germany or the UK, one of them anyway. So why has he changed it? Do you know what I mean? And that's, you know, going back to Nicholas Asbury as well, the gloves that he was showing, you know, when you let it go, it looks normal. But when you press it, it's flat. It goes flat like a flat tire.
Just like Madonna. Remember Madonna Floyd Mayweather? And when Floyd Mayweather picked up the gloves, those were Everlast MXs as well. But the thing is, they just custom painted them and shit for him, you know, like they do every other fighter's got the custom gloves. And they were bagged up. Remember when we pulled them out the bag, they were flat and kind of concave like that? Those are Everlast MX gloves I'm talking about. Dude, they are just a glove that Mexican fighters, offensive fighters, love to punish you with. They are a punishing offensive glove. They do not have the best pad and support at all. It is specifically a glove that professionals like to use when they really want to beat you up. And that's the glove Fury used the first time. And I actually have it.
And do you know what, yeah? Like, I rewatched the first fight. It was on, the other day, it was on Fox. And when I scored the fight, everyone was saying like Fury got robbed in the first fight. The first fight, Fury didn't get robbed at all. If you look back at it, if you guys all run narrative. I'm not talking about Mr. Two Hands now. I'm talking about everyone else that's saying, you know, Fury got robbed. Fury knew he was in trouble. That's why he took, you know, the other two fights. He didn't want to go, you know, share away with Wilder. He was too scared, and now he had to cheat him. And this is the thing. That's why on the 19th of December, you're gonna see that fight. It's gonna go either the distance or it's going to be a knockout by Wilder. You can see that.
He wasn't too scared. He was unfit. Come on, man.
No, he wasn't. How's he unfit? What are you on about?
Hey, I feel like the LDBC is starting to secrete from your pores a little bit, my man. Because normally when we talk, bro, we like have the most level-headed, rational conversations.
No, but
man,
but the man asked me a question. The man asked me a question. I'm just being honest in it. I'm always being 100%.
There's nothing wrong with that. And you know, I'm not leaning on you. I'm just kind of shocked right now. I wasn't expecting this time. I wasn't expecting this to come out of your mouth. I didn't know you really felt like that. But hey, at the same time, man, look, Fury won that fight. The only thing that I could give you is on home soil, you know, with the 2 knockdowns, they're going to do, and everybody feels like you got to take the belt away from a champion, but I'm sick of that. You get your ass beat, Them 2 knockdowns were the only thing Deontay Wilder did that whole fight.
No.
And hold on, P. Just let me finish, bro. When Deontay Wilder got up, when Tyson Fury got up off of that canvas, Deontay Wilder's soul and all of the color from his face damn near left his body because he knew when he got up, it was over. He needed to knock him out. You know that, and I know it, man. Come on, man.
Okay, listen, I do admit when he got up the 12th round, yeah, even though that should have been classed as a knockout, it was a knockout, but of course he got the chance and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, he was like, you know, bringing it to Wilder. But before that, when you look at the fight, yeah, the first few rounds, yeah, it was Wilder's rounds. Clearly, Fury was good in the middle rounds. That's when he was, you know, more effective. All this, you know, jerky movement, stuff like that, you know, he might look good, but it's not affecting it. And yeah, he did look good.
Hold on one second. I'm talking that thought. 1 second, guys. D-Town got us, you know what I'm saying? I got us to show love to myself. D-Town Blaster, man, appreciate you with the super chat, man. He says, what's up to the chat and the panel? Always appreciate you, Brody. Always showing love. Yeah. Fire. All right, keep going, fellas. This shit is lit.
Bro, let me say to you, just everything you say can be debunked. You're running into open traps with your conversation. Just a while ago, you talked about Fury just probably winning the middle rounds. If you and I are fighting, and I know you know about boxing, I think you know something about boxing, or you know a lot about boxing. If you and I are fighting and you knock me down twice, and the judges in my own country gave it a draw, the man who got knocked down must have been ahead. Did you hear that? If you and I are fighting, you knock me down twice, and it was a draw. You had to knock me down twice to get a draw. That means you were losing the fight, bro. You were
listen, the way I see it is, yeah, Wilder got robbed in the first fight. That should have been a win.
P, you said you done popped the blue pill, brother. Look, my man Pokerface said 2 hands. Ask P what he rescored Wilder Fury 1. Because honestly, bro, the only thing I could give Wilder is this. I'd say he probably connected with, none of them really connected with no more than probably 3 to 6 punches in the first round.
The second fight?
No, in the first fight, I'm talking about the first fight. None of them probably connected for no more than 3 to 6 punches in the first round. Second round, it was kind of the same. You know what I mean? Third round, you know, Fury was touching him up a little bit more. I would have to say, if we're going to look at this thing convincingly, we're going to look at this thing as a boxing match. There was no action from Deontay Wilder, truthfully, until he knocked him down. And
I'll tell you what. Why don't you do a show? Like, I don't know, whenever you got time, we'll watch it together. Obviously, you're not going to show it, but we watch it together and, you know, we're going to score it. Because I guarantee you're going to see a different lens. The first time when I seen it, I thought Fury looked good. But having looked at it again, you see a lot of difference. I'm telling you now, I swear down. The first time, it's all different, like, you know what I mean? But the second time when I seen it, yeah, you look in a different, like, eyes. Your eyes changes. Where's Unrivaled? Is he gone?
I guess he stepped out. He probably back. Fucking, come on, man. Look, man,
my eyes still
the same. My eyes still the same. That 20/20 vision ain't going to change, man. Look, unless I get drunk before we watch the fight. Like, come on, bro. It's not going to change, dude. I know for the
2 hands. The first time he watched the fight was his real reaction. The reaction afterwards was your considered reaction. Was your reaction. Why do people always say bad stuff about the LDBC? I don't get this narrative about the LDBC.
But how can what is wrong with the LDBC?
No, How can you not?
You know, okay, let me explain to you guys. Let me explain to you guys.
Hold on. If you had an organization that you hear, our channels that you hear, propagating something like Glovegate, I mean, bro, everybody around the world think it is rubbish, knows it is rubbish. If a channel is purporting that, how can you be in support of that if you're a logical thinking person? You know.
Okay, listen.
Hold on. Respond to this.
Forget about that. Forget about the Glovegate.
Hold on. Let him finish. See? Let him finish.
My brother. Respond to this. In the Wilder Ortiz fight, I heard that Ortiz drink was spiked. In the
Who said that?
Ortiz fight. Huh?
He was winning the fight.
No, hold on.
How could he spike?
No, he lost it. He was winning the fight. That's immaterial. I heard that his drink was spiked. How do you respond to that? So that
the second fight?
Wilder's team spiked Ortiz's drink.
You're talking about the second fight, Ortiz against Wilder, the second fight.
I heard it about both fights. How do you respond?
Okay, wait. How can he was winning the second fight? I'm not gonna answer you because you're chatting crap to me now.
No, I'm telling you. I'm not
gonna answer to you now because you're chatting crap. Okay, Mr. Two Hands, let me say something. Yeah.
No, that's exactly what the LDBC is doing.
Let me tell you something now.
What you're doing is just
okay. Let me explain to you. Let me explain to you,
How
bro.
do you respond to the fact that you're saying? That
hold on 1 second. Hold that thought, Croy. I got super chat. D-Town Blast, salute, bro. He said the LDBC pushes narratives and lies while ignoring facts. That is an absolute fact. Continue.
Okay, let me tell you something, yeah?
How do you respond to that?
No comment. I take the 5. I take the 5.
Hold on. What was your question, Croy?
I heard that Ortiz's drink was spiked in the first fight with Wilder and Ortiz. I want him to respond to that.
I take the 5 in it. I take the 5.
You think what?
He said he
pleaded the 5. Anyway, listen.
You plead
listen. Yes.
You can't answer.
Yes, I plead the 5th, yes.
He copped the plea.
You can't answer. Why are you not answering that kind of thing? You must answer these questions, man. That is what you people do on the LDBC channel.
Okay, let me tell you something.
Hey, I just want to check to know we don't cop no pleas on this side. We all the way official. Continue.
Can I talk now? A lot of people, when I came to YouTube, I didn't know nothing about LDBC. The only reason why I got to know the LDBC is people that hate on the LDBC. They're the ones that pushed me towards the LDBC. You know why? Because I went to a lot of channels, like Unrivaled was here just now, so I can mention his name. On his channel, there's a lot of racist people on his channel. I've been called loads of names in the past, okay? And that's why I've been pushed. And the reason why the LDBC came, the LDBC is 4 years old. The reason why they formed a group is because there used to be called a lot of racist names. I'm not going to say the names now because YouTube is probably going to flag it. And that's why they exist, to protect, black people. And guess what? In the LDBC, there's a lot of white people there. A lot of good white people there. People don't understand that. Unless you get to know them, you're not going to you're not going to really understand.
Look, P, this is my thing. I don't take my time out to listen to bullshit at any point in my day. I'm not going to put anything into my ears that isn't fruitful and I can't sponge off of. All the LDBC do is lie and they try to, use tribalism as a way to divide individuals. I'm not for that type of activity. That's not something that I'm going to spread on my subs. That's not something I spread on the world. And that's not anything that I practice in my everyday life. So for that reason, you'll never find me listening to them unless I got a birdie in my ear and it's something that I need to go out and I need to watch for analytical purposes. Other than that, the LDBC aren't on my radar because they aren't truly fans of boxing. And you could listen to these guys. You could follow most of these individuals. And I don't want to close everybody into one closet because I heard some of those individuals are okay. But I don't know because I'm too focused on me to even listen to their bullshit. So I normally hear, third party. But at the same time, it's a lot of ignorance. It's a lot of false narratives. It's a lot of bullshit that runs that way. And it's a whole lot of, color bashing. But at the same time, you don't, and it's the same time, it's hip hypocritical and contradicting because you don't show love to the guy across the pond that is the same color as you, the same ambassador, you know, as your so-called Deontay Wilder, who's out in the streets helping his people and who carries himself like a champion. He's never been given respect. Nobody gives him respect. And I mean, my whole thing is I'm 50-50 as, you know, a person who sits on this panel. So I believe as men, people should be 50-50 calling things down the middle in life. And that is something they don't do. That's something I don't rock with. It absolutely disgusts me. And as long as they continue to do shit like that, they're going to continue to falter. Right now, they might look like they on to something because, you know, it's easy. The blind is always going to run in masses. You know what I'm saying? The ones that rage against the machine, those are the ones that come in small numbers. So, of course, we're going to be the smaller number than the majority because it's a bigger number of idiots and it's a smaller number of intellectuals. So, you know, I would just like to think that people would have a lot more integrity than to hang on to the bullshit that they're trying to push out there, because I say logic overrides stupidity at all times, you know, but common sense isn't very common, I see. But if we're going to look at something and we're going to be subjective and objective about it, we have to understand that, hey, we're looking at little fucking slide shots from guys that sit in their basement and whack off while they watch fucking RedTube all night, instead of professionals that are anywhere close to boxing, because this whole thing was birthed by an individual who had absolutely nothing to do with boxing, who was an absolute scammer, and who claims to work in the conscious community, who don't give a damn about his community. So the foundation that they're on is shaky. It's fucking cement filled with water, and that shit is just falling the fuck apart. So at the end of the day, I just can't feel them, bro. I'm a person who always believes in putting fruitful shit in my mentality, not that fucking type of divisive shit.
Two hands.
Okay, but listen, can I talk?
Let me just add.
He jumped off. Let Corey get off real quick. Go ahead, Corey.
I want to say something to at the end of the day, there's a lot of good people in the YTBC, okay? There's people like, I can see on the chat, Toby Barlett, he's a good guy. There's a lot of good people out there. But there's also a lot of bad people out there. I'm not going to say no names, the bad people. I'm only going to mention the good names, you know what I mean? But those bad people are bad, rotten apples. And that's why the LDBC looks more stronger, because they don't tolerate stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? I go to these channels like Unrivaled, and I've been called names and stuff like that. So where am I getting pushed to? I'm getting pushed to that side, do you know what I mean? And that's why things need to change. Like, and if you're part of the YTBC, you need to change it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And wait. And the thing is, when you start talking about the things that you say, you call it down, okay? If you ever say something bad about Lomachenko, or let's say like a Triple G, or any white fighter, yeah, you're gonna get your channel is gonna be bashed. Look what's happening to Bruce.
But I do though.
Who?
I do. I say stuff about Lomachenko. I say stuff about Manny Pacquiao. I say stuff about Triple G. I made videos on it. And honestly, you know, people.
Your channel's all right.
I look at them like this. People are fanboys over who they're fanboys of. At the beginning, since the beginning of the time, I have to keep redundantly saying this: boxing was birthed off of a racist society. So it's always had that black and white story. But
who done it though? Who started it?
But I'm just saying, it doesn't. At this point in my life, none of that shit fucking matters. My fucking ancestors, my uncles and aunts went through all of that bullshit just so I ain't have to. So you know what I'm saying? Just like Jay-Z said, Hov did that, so hopefully you ain't had to go through that. Just like, so my mom did that, so hopefully her son ain't had to go through that. So at the end of the day, I'm looking at it like this. I'm very consciously aware of all of the racism and shit that goes on in the world. But at the same time, I focus on the boxing, man. And for those seeds that I see, those seeds that I know is bad. But look, this the deal, P. You've been over here for a whole fucking hour and 3 minutes. No, basically been over here for like 50, 45 minutes. Everything that you've been saying, you know, you got respectful individuals, you know, counter-responding to what you're saying, not disrespecting you not one bit. Just keeping it respectful, and we just talking boxing straight down the middle.
That's what we was doing. We were doing down boxing. We was talking about boxing.
This is what I'm trying to say. If any of us or anybody in these chats go over to their channels, they're getting blocked. 5 minutes tops. As soon as you topple them with your boxing IQ, you're getting blocked because they don't like the truth. So they try to hide the narrative. That's what I don't like and I don't understand. Everybody welcome to come over here, but you can't go over there and converse with them over there because it's agenda driven.
Do you know why? Do you know why it's agenda driven? Because it is basically these guys are so pissed off. They're so angry. They've been like you know what I mean? You have to put it in their shoes as well. Like sometimes you have to look at it in a different kind of lens. They're pissed off. Like that's why they say we don't do fairness. It's just the way they are. They're just pissed off. Look at some other channels. I'm not going to name them, but there's other channels on this side of the bond, and you should see how terrible they are. But at the end of the day, each to their own, innit? You know what I mean?
This is how I look at this faction of freaking poisonous individuals. If everybody in the world has a freaking camera, you literally don't even have to have a job or have any money in your pocket, and you can get a phone, you can get a smartphone from freaking Barack Obama, you know what I mean, for some welfare type shit. Everybody has a phone with a camera in the world. So as soon as these so-called pro-blackity black woke individuals see some form of injustice happen on the camera phone, they jump on it and they act like they're jumping on it and they being these social injustice warriors. No, they're using that shit to try to drive whatever their little false narratives are. Just because one freaking act happens on one part of the world, you can't tax everybody for it. That's tribalism. You can't do that. You can't say all of these individuals are bad because what happened to this guy or that guy. That's bullshit to me. It's disingenuous and I don't feel it. Because, you know what I'm saying, like shit happen to me all the time. I can't blame you for some bullshit like that. If, you know what I'm saying, like shit. I mean, it's just the way it is. You can't blame everybody for everything. Now, you know what I mean? Governing bodies and shit like that, that's different. But I'm talking about individuals, bro. This boxing. Niggas can't be blaming people in the chat or just saying that person racist because they got an opposing view or blocking them because they have an opposing view. That's poisonous. That don't even need to be in the game.
At the end of the day, all I'm saying is it's gonna get a lot worse before it becomes good. And
I agree with that.
It is what it is. You know what I mean? I wish everyone was all together. You know what I mean? I don't like this either. You know what I mean? I wish everyone could be talking about boxing. Do you see what I mean? Do you think I'm enjoying it? No, I'm not enjoying it. But it's not fair with people. This is the thing. We need to be all fair. We need to be all. You know what I mean? If I'm willing to jump on that boat if we're all fair. But the thing is, no one's fair.
All right, P. Let Croy get in there because I know he's been waiting for about 12 minutes now. Go ahead, Croy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, man. Thank you. You're playing the victim, my friend. Don't come on here and help the LDBC to play victim when they are the people who propagate all kinds of hate towards certain fighters. Something that I wanted to point out. Why you people contradicting Deontay Wilder? Deontay say he lost the fight because his costume was heavy. You people said no, he lost the fight because there was whatever in Tyson's glove and no Deontay Wilder. Just one of the things that you purport. No, Deontay Wilder has a dent in his head. Come on, brother. If Deontay Wilder had a dent in his head, don't you think that Wilder would recognize that some object or something hit him in his head?
No.
No, he wouldn't. You're
he wouldn't.
No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't. Come on, man.
No.
That is
because he's fighting. He's fighting. If I'm fighting you now, listen. If I'm fighting you now, listen.
You know it, man.
Wilder is an experienced fighter. Don't bother to butt into to what I'm trying to say and cut me short or put words in them.
Nah, get yours off, Corey. Floor is yours.
Yeah, because Wilder is an experienced fighter, you know. Wilder has been fighting 10, 11 years, 40-odd fights. And he doesn't know the difference between how a glove strikes him in his head than how plaster of Paris or a horseshoe strikes in his head. He's dumb if he doesn't. But what
no, he's not dumb. He's not dumb
if he doesn't. If you're in your sport and a person is hitting you with metal,
no, he's in a fighting mode. He's in a fighting mode.
Difference between metal and glove and the horse here. And hold on,
because the atmosphere.
That's not my major point. My main point was, why are you people contradicting Deontay Wilder? He said the reason.
No, listen, I'm an AJ fan. Listen, wait. Somebody put it on there. Like I'm a Wilder fan. Listen, I'm an AJ fan, but I'm calling it. Listen, all the LDBC, they know that I'm an AJ fan.
You gotta let Corey finish. Let you finish, bro.
Yeah, you've been talking for a long time. We don't do that over here, man. You don't know that. Tell them to teach you how to listen. You need to learn how to listen.
I've been here before, you know.
Why are you contradicting the man? The man said that he lost the fight because his suit was heavy. He didn't say anything about anything.
He never said that. He never said that.
Yeah, he said
he never said the suit was heavy. No, he never.
Dude, you just talking shit.
He said that his costume
listen.
legs out. And
okay.
That is why he said he never had proper balance in the ring. Why you come and giving some other excuse for that Wilder didn't give? That is the kind of rubbish.
Okay.
And it exposes your foolishness.
You finished?
Yeah. Listen, guy. Why are you like that? I gave
you
you
finished?
a chance to talk, and the host gave you a chance to talk. You must give people their chance to talk.
Yeah, man. Like we all let everybody get theirs off over here. You know, as soon as we hear something that might excite us or whatever, you know, it's shit. I hear stuff that make me want to jump right in, especially when I'm dealing with D. Jeff. But I swear to God, I'll be biting blood out my fucking lip.
I know.
You know what I mean? But at this point, you know, we gotta let our people get it off because you know we all respectfully enough let each other do. So you know, it's just what it is. I'm just keeping it 100.
Okay, can I just say quickly one thing? Quickly, I'm just gonna say quickly one thing. Quickly, just quickly. I'm gonna talk about the suit. Okay, the suit. Yeah, listen, the suit excuse. Wilder's never made that suit excuse. You know why? There's no recording at all whatsoever.
I heard it myself on TV.
Okay, send the link. Where's the link?
Did you watch the match? He said it immediately after the fight finished. On international TV in the post-match interview while he was standing in the bloody ring. Why are you saying
about the suit? About the suit.
Yes, that is what his legs was
No,
gone.
he said his legs. He said his legs. He didn't say the suit.
So what took away his legs?
You're trying to be so selective.
Are you sensible?
P, I see you. You think you slick. Hey, P think he's slick. He's trying to be selective and shit. He said, nah, man, he said his legs.
Why you splitting here? Stop splitting hairs and trying to find an argument. You're too sensible for that. Stop following the rubbish that the LDBC is doing.
No, don't tell me what to do, man. I'll do what I want. I'm a grown man.
All right, continue. I can't tell you what to do, but it's good advice. You should follow it.
I fucking love it.
It's not good advice. You need a good advice.
Stop following rubbish. Deontay Wilder said it was the suit that shot his legs.
Okay, let the other people talk on it.
Around on the internet, contradicting Wilder, making Wilder look like a liar because you're finding other rubbish to talk about that made the man lose the fight. You need to stop the rubbish and stop being a part of that kind of foolishness.
This nigga just made me snort.
Nice God, man.
Oh, listen.
I'm glad you put your face on screen because we can all see.
I'm on my face, yeah. Where's your face?
We can all see it.
Hey, hold on. 1 second, guys. 1 second. My brother just walked in the building. You know what I'm saying? One of the, you know what I'm saying, founder of the NBBC. You know what I mean?
What's going on?
You know what I mean? General on deck. Generals rock with generals. Salute, brother. How you feeling about everything you've been hearing on the panel today?
There's some bullshit, but you know, typical shit.
Would you like to expound upon that, sir?
But yeah, about that. Well, I'm just gonna let it be known right here, my brother, because you know, I stick to the facts, and it's been stated and quoted by ESPN, stated on First Take and Get Up, all ESPN shows. All have quoted Deontay Wilder himself saying that it was the costume weighing him down and it weighed his leg down before the fight. So and it was because of the costume being too heavy. So regardless of the fact, that was an excuse that Deontay Wilder came forth and stated himself saying that that's why he lost that fight. So that's actually facts, bro. There's no debating that unless you think you got a better source than ESPN.
We're talking.
Yeah, I got a better source. I got a source, man. Tay Jones. You know Tay Jones?
Who?
Tay Jones. Tay Jones. Tay Jones.
You said Nate Jones?
No, Tay. You know Tay Jones, innit? He's part of Wilder's team.
Tay Jones.
Oh my God! You talking about that butt sniffer? That nigga got his nose all up Deontay Wilder ass crack, man. That dude literally walks around cradling Deontay Wilder's nuts like stress balls at work, bro. He is not going to keep it a buck. This man said, man, my man had keloids from his head all the way down to his spine. I'm like, nigga, that's called getting punched and getting hematomas from your head down to your back. That mean that boy beat you up and swelled up your whole goddamn body. That nigga got bee stings.
Hey, listen. At the end of the day, that's the source in it. He talked to him actually. I interviewed him actually not long ago, and
oh my God.
He said, "Listen,
did he give you a computer virus?"
Listen. No, he didn't. Listen. At the end of the day, no one came out. The only guy that talked about the suit was actually JD's. JD's, his manager.
Shout out to Pokerface.
Yeah, JD's. Yeah, Pokerface is laughing in it. He's having a laugh.
they all
anyway,
it ain't just him.
Have a laugh and enjoy yourself. Feast and a feast. But anyway, listen. All I gotta say to you guys is, Tay Jones, he said, the only person, that talked about the suit was JD's, his manager, and he never even said the suit was too heavy. Do you know what I mean? There's no recording. The only thing that Wilder said is, I didn't have my legs. That's not an excuse. So what? So whenever you talk, everything's an excuse. Do you know what I mean? What sort of world are we living in? It's 2020. Come on, guys, man.
Man, can I like something on this shit? Let me step up in
When somebody grown man punch the legs from up out of you and fucking wobble your whole equilibrium, of course you don't have no legs when you get cracked with a temple shot and you lose your legs and they turn into spaghetti noodles. The nigga whole head turned into a tea kettle. If you turn the boy sideways, you know what I'm saying, Kool-Aid would have started pouring out his fucking ears. Dead ass. Like, dude, like, it wasn't anything that Wilder did prepping up to the fight. It is what Tyson Fury did to Wilder during the fight. See, what we just witnessed and what people aren't willing to deal with is the fact that he got caught up with a good old ass whooping. And I know that's your homies over there, and y'all trying to live off this last hurrah, hoping the third fight going to do it. But no, it's not going to do it, fam. Like,
Mr. Two Hands. Two hands, listen.
I know you itching. Let me finish. Just like my man OG Leon Muhammad said, man, and I constantly have to keep saying it time and time again. He lost. He took that boy Hart in the first fight in the 12th round when he got up off that canvas. He lost that fight then. It was over then. He just had to finish the job the second time. That's why, Tyson Fury said he had to do it that way because he got robbed on American soil the first time. The only thing denying that is you.
Pretty much. And how you gonna argue what Deontay Wilder said with something his friend said? Not something you heard from Deontay Wilder himself. Just something his friend said that's supposed to be in his camp.
Hey,
that's your source.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead, my brother.
How did this shit turn into like talking about fucking Wilder and the legit like? I thought it was supposed to be some Dillian Whyte shit, bro. Like it started off with trainers. All of a sudden, this dude is defending Wilder, saying he didn't say the suit shit. What the fuck?
Dillian Whyte.
Okay, should I tell you what?
Another. Hold up. I got to shout out my bros in my super chat. Shout out my brother Myron, man. I've been missing you, bro. You know what I'm saying? I hope everything been fucking good. I'm glad you know what I'm saying, you just popping on me time to time, whether it's just a super chat or just popping in, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm just glad you out here, bro. I know you in good spirits. I hope your family fucking safe. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the NBBC Mount Rushmore members. You know what I'm saying? So salute to the guy, man. General shit. NBBC. Yeah. Let's get it.
Listen, can I talk now?
I ain't stopping.
The reason why the guy, underneath, I don't know his name, on the right hand side, the last guy that spoke, the guy, he said, why are we talking about Wilder? It's because Unrivaled came up and started talking about LDBC and Deontay Wilder. Because you know what, Deontay Wilder, the reason why I always say the last couple of weeks Deontay Wilder is the face of boxing is because everyone wants to talk about Deontay Wilder. If he's not the face of boxing, stop talking about him. And people like Unrivaled, he's the one that brought it up. Let me finish. Me and you was talking about, Dillian Whyte, okay? And then Unrivaled came in and started talking about LDBC and started talking about Deontay Wilder. So come on, man. Just come off of it.
That is true.
You know what I mean?
I'm not going to put that on you. We ain't going to wear that hat. We ain't going to do that over here. We're going to keep it real. But at the same time, it's like, bruh, come on, fam, man. Look, man. Deontay Wilder, bro. It's not Deontay Wilder is this famous. You know there's a difference between being famous and infamy. What Deontay Wilder is infamous. And he isn't even infamous in a good way because, you know, Floyd truly capitalized off his infamy and made himself a billionaire. Deontay Wilder, you know what I'm saying, kind of got made up. You know what I mean? Kind of like in a sense, kind of like mannequin and shit, put together a little bit to try to make this persona and this individual that he is. He's infamous for all of the reasons he does not respect the game. That's why people are on his head time and time again. If you have an individual that comes out on the camera and they say the most outlandish shit day in, day out, their resume is right there for fucking Stevie Wonder to even see and know it's garbage. And he's still repping that shit hard. Bro, it becomes a problem. For 5 years, you don't unify. You've ducked every freaking mandatory. You only fought one. You know, so when people are looking at things like that, that's the reason. He's infamous, and it's not for a good reason. He is the Yonkie of the day. Period.
But this is what we think. This is what we think, though. This is what we've been told. We're not 100% sure if he ducked them. At the end of the day, it could be Joshua. I'm a Joshua fan. It could be Joshua that attacked him. All we see is some newspapers. It could be anyone. You know, I don't go. Listen, I don't go. Listen, I don't go.
Man, we gotta keep it official, fam. You know, like I know, fam, that he ducked it. When you get offered $120 million and you said you was a free agent because Tyson Fury got a $100 million contract, AJ was already getting money, and you felt left out. So you said you was a free agent and could flow between networks. So John Skipper and Blavatnik, Lou DiBella, and Eddie Hearn even stepped back so they could make that possible for you. He turns the fight down, fires Lou, jumps in a car with Al Heyman, because Al Heyman said that shit was chump fucking change.
Do you know why? Do you know why he turned down the money?
Completely unprofessional. Jumped in the car with Al Heyman. He jumped in the car with Shelly Finkel, left Lou DiBella on the curb, and they ain't dealt with him since.
Do you know why he turned down that money? I'll tell you why. Because he was with Al Heyman. Obviously, it's not official because Al Heyman, you know, he doesn't want to see it as a promoter, but he is a promoter. And obviously, that fight was going to be on the Zone and it was going to be on Sky Sports. So that 120 million, that only, you know what I mean? If it was on the Fox, that would have been better. But obviously, that's the reason why they turned it down.
Wilder. It's about putting Wilder in position. Wilder should be thinking about Wilder. I always hear, you know, Al Heyman wasn't going to let. I know for a fact that Julio Cesar, I know Chavez Jr. didn't give a fuck about what Al Heyman was talking about and went and fought Canelo. I know Amir Khan didn't give a fuck about what Al Heyman was talking about and fought Canelo. And speaking on present events, I know for a fact that Deontay Wilder completely went against PBC's wishes and forced that fight and made the fight with Tyson Fury the second time because they did not like the fight and they didn't want it, and he forced their hand because the pressure was mounting on Deontay because he knew he was getting eclipsed in star power. Underneath, he already knew he was the last person, he was the tortoise in the race. But now he's seeing it because you got Tyson Fury over here. He got $100 million. You don't even have a network contract. Anthony Joshua has one. Tyson Fury has one with ESPN, an American-based network that freaking is broadcasted all over the world. And Deontay Wilder has none of that and still hasn't filled out one arena. We got to be realistic and understand that Deontay Wilder's first pay-per-view was off the back of an overweight, out-of-shape Tyson Fury. If that doesn't show you an individual trying to take advantage of another guy and come the fuck up, I don't know what else does.
Yeah, pretty much.
I just don't want to hit on him. Go on, man. Go on.
His biggest pay-per-view at this point, his only pay-per-view was what? Tyson Fury and Luis Ortiz, and did nobody want to pay for that fight? Nobody paid for that. And also, he turned down a $120 million deal. Out of all of the fights that he had after that fight, did he make $120 million? Was any of did those fights equate after he turned down that fight? Did all the fights that he took after that equate to $120 million? And at this point, with him losing to Tyson Fury, was it a smart idea for him to turn down that $120 million deal? At this point, I would say no. So he had the opportunity to fight for Undisputed. He kept constantly complaining about wanting to be Undisputed, one face, one name. And he had the opportunity to do that, and he turned it down. Now, we all know, as real boxing analysts, the only way a fight does not happen is if one party does not want to make that fight happen, or somebody in his is advising him to not take the fight, and he won't do it. So there's somebody in Deontay Wilder's camp that's telling him to not take the Joshua fight, or Deontay Wilder himself does not want to fight Anthony Joshua or Dillian Whyte. Period. Otherwise, he will.
DJ, salute. Go ahead. Nah, you good. Man, bro. And just like what you saying, DJ, excuse me, DT3, just like what you saying, bro. Bruh, Al Heyman is an advisor so he could get around, you know what I'm saying? So he can get around the Ali Act bullshit. Correct me if I'm wrong. Al Heyman is an advisor. He doesn't wear the title as a promoter. So you could Brody that motherfucker as much as you want. Sam Watson can't none of them dudes stand in your way. The fact is they hide behind 3 letters. That is the fact. They hide behind 3 letters and an organization of nothing but a bunch of half-kicked tomato cans. Period. All in a fucking bag. And they just reach in there and pull out one and throw it to him. Because you know he ain't shit. If you reach in the bag again, you're going to pull out another piece of shit tomato can, throw it to him. You know he ain't shit. God damn. These dudes ain't shit. I'm just saying. Look at it. This is the facts. This is the facts. Deontay Wilder made $20 million off of the back of the fact that he got that meeting with the zone. So they paid him $20 million because they knew they had to give him something. Then on top of that, you fight Luis Ortiz. They say you supposedly gonna get $20 million. How could they give you that? You fucking barely put 7,000 people in the fucking 7,000 people in the arena. So if they gave you $20 million and was supposed to give Luis Ortiz this big $10 million contract, which it wasn't, it was only like $1 million and shit like that. And Deontay Wilder got like 3 or some shit like that. So take that $20 million, add another 3 to it. Then you go fight no, you made about 10 million. You made about 10 million there, 20 million there, so there's 30. He made about 50 to 60 million. Made about 65 million. So you barely made half of what Anthony Joshua was trying to offer you, and you put up all of that leg work. Man, so basically what Deontay Wilder did was he put on some fucking red pumps and a fucking blue skirt, and and some fucking fishnet fucking leggings, and he took his ass down K Street and he started tricking for goddamn Al Heyman, because that's basically what he did, and turned down $120 million.
And also to that comment about him being the face of boxing and everybody talking about him, let me tell you something. There are 2 ways to get famous in this world. You either have to be extremely talented at whatever it is that you do, or you got to be willing to make a damn fool of yourself. And in a lot of ways, Wilder has done more of making a fool of himself than to actually show any natural God-given talent. That's part of the reason why people talk bad about him so much. Not more so of who he has fought in the ring, is more so the antics that he's done outside the ring is what pretty much get him the publicity that gets him. It's not what he does in the ring. So to say he's the face of boxing for something that he's not known for doing much in boxing, and I wouldn't give him that. What were you gonna say, bro?
Without till this day, where would his fame be, bro?
Man, they would have barely sold that fight.
That's what I'm saying. Who the fuck would know Deontay if it wasn't for that meme, man?
He's known for getting clown, bro. All of his infamy comes from being a clown.
Well, excuse me, guys. Can I just add something? When you're in your 9th year in your career, going on your 10th year in your career, and that's the time when you're getting any kind of notoriety. How can you be face of boxing?
Damn.
Listen, man. When Mike Tyson and these guys that Wilder is comparing himself to, before Mike Tyson even won a title, he was the face of boxing. Before he even won a title, when you want to class yourself as the face of boxing, you don't take 9 years to do it, my friend. You after 9 years you're becoming a star. You're never a star. More people knew about Deontay Wilder in the 2 years after Joshua came to prominence than what know about Deontay Wilder in his whole 9 or 10 years before Joshua came on the scene. How can that person be the face of boxing, my brother?
Oh.
He the ass cracker boxing. That's what he is. with a little bit of old toilet paper in that junk.
you see the kind of rubbish that the LDBC come out with. It's just fanboyism. And when sensible people are going to support that kind of rubbishry, it's not becoming, my friend. You can't say this man is the face of boxing when he took 9 years to get to notoriety. He was fighting all the time when the two brothers were fighting. Listen, man, in your boxer's 22nd fight, he was fighting a man that was ranked 472.
Yeah.
Dang.
That was Wilder's 22nd fight.
Wasn't he fighting a super middleweight when he was in his 20-30th fight? Didn't he fight a super middleweight? A dude that was a super middleweight that blew up the heavyweight? All that?
This man has about 10 or 12 cruiserweight in his career on his resume. Don't talk about the face of
he got
boxing.
Super middleweights.
Boxing needed a face. If you're following boxing for a good 7, 8, 9 years, when Wilder was there doing nothing, boxing needed a face. Fury, because Klitschko wasn't. People didn't want to accept the Klitschkos as the face of boxing. So boxing needed a face for 15 years. This guy Wilder was there fighting, have many fights, gone 6, 7, 8 years. Why didn't he become the face of boxing then? Why didn't he go and knock out the Klitschkos? When boxing was dead and needed a face.
Boom.
Come on, man. Where was this hard puncher who knocks out everybody? The reason why they weren't, you Americans, sorry, you're not American. You don't have an American accent. I don't know if you are. But the reason why Americans weren't excited about Deontay Wilder is because Deontay Wilder wasn't fighting exciting fights. Imagine a fighter that has 22 fights, 22 knockouts. 25 fights, 25 knockouts.
Yeah, man, like for real though, I'm so off of this dude, bruh. Like I'm so I feel you, Croy, but like we gotta shift gears for real, because like let's put it in perspective like this. For the past goddamn, however, Deontay Wilder has had to invade every single conversation that's in existence that we have in boxing. And I've been trying to find ways to curve it with other conversations, but I mean, he is a hot topic. He is a revolving door. Things do come up that's new. So we're going to talk about this motherfucker. Let's talk about him and what's happening currently. Like, what are his chances in winning the third fight? That's a realistic question to ask everybody. That's the first question. Who realistically believes that Deontay Wilder has a chance to rebuild, pick himself up, and move on after the third fight?
I do. He's gonna knock out Tyson Fury, and mark my words, I will be back here when he does it as well. And you guys will know what I'm talking about, because now none of you guys believe what I'm saying. Because at the end of the day, a guy that couldn't knock out, his last fight when he fought Otto Walling, and even Tom Schwartz, that was like, that was still kind of debatable. Do you know what I mean? And then he knocks out Deontay Wilder. And
so what does that say about your boy
Deontay Wilder was okay? Do you guys honestly think Deontay Wilder was himself in that fight?
So what does that say about Deontay Wilder? If he can't style on him like Otto Walling did, what does that say about your boy Deontay Wilder, other than he got a fucking chin of a baby deer?
Listen, at the end of the day, you guys will see the third fight, which will be happening at the end of the year, and you will see that Tyson Fury will get knocked out.
And P, I respect your confidence in all of that, and you realistically believe that this man absolutely has a chance. There's nothing wrong with that. But me, I stand by analytics, and I stand by what I saw. And I didn't see this man I didn't see this man have one successful punch or one successful flurry in the fight. or even a successful punch. So there's nothing that you could gauge, or for me, there's nothing that I can gauge. I can't speak for you. There's nothing that I can gauge. There's nothing that I can see that'll say, hey, this guy is going to come back and he's going to beat Tyson Fury in the third fight. The only thing that I could say realistically for the fans is, y'all better get ready to throw the party, get your champagne glasses ready, because we about to get this skid mark, skitty, doodle face, skitty, Hardaway piece of shit ass, bum ass nigga up out of boxing.
No.
How Wilder is supposed to beat Tyson Fury, and he can't box, fam. That dude can't box. All of you Wilder fans are talking about he gonna come back and do this, do that. Y'all basically hoping on the right hand to land clean and flush. That's it. That's all y'all hoping for. What else is he gonna do? He's not gonna beat him on the points. So basically, it's a knockout or nothing. So y'all all praying on a fucking knockout. That's it. He can't box.
Man, look, you want to know what
are you talking about, man?
Dillian, like Deontay Wilder's trash. He said, you absolutely right, D. He can't box. I'm more looking for what the hell is going to happen with Delphine Pursues and Katie Taylor more than this cocksucker and Tyson Fury. I know what Tyson Fury going to do to him. I don't know what Katie Taylor going to do to Delphine Pursues. I don't know what Dillian Whyte going to do to Alexander Povetkin. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's other stuff that's going on. It's just like, yo, this dude right here, he's a microcosm of the LDBC. He ain't the microcosm of Two Hands and the NBBC. Nah, I would say he's y'all everything. He's like y'all universe. He's y'all black hole. He's more like a microcosm of some bullshit that y'all done projected out here. Now we got to deal with this cocksucker. But at the end of the day, I'll be so glad when he gone, bro, because boxing needs the real. We need to get all of the fake up out of boxing and move on, because realistically, it ain't just a Deontay Wilder thing. Just like my man Double M saying right now, proof the coronavirus has totally stagnated the boxing industry. We need some fights. Get on all of these stables' asses. That's what we need to talk about. And that's a fact. Because all of these stables are not putting on fights. They are throwing out fighters out there that's just on their stable like, hey, we can give them this. Hopefully we'll get a Mickey Ward and Arturo Gatti out of it. Or, hey, we'll throw Cepeda and, we'll throw Jose Cepeda in the ring. But, we're going to put him in there. And that was a good-ass fight. Shout out to Costadinha, however you say his last name, for actually putting on and actually working in that fight. Great body work by Cepeda. But my whole thing is this, though. They are throwing us fights that you know damn well that we are tolerating because we have absolutely nothing and we are clamoring for boxing boys. They are not the fights that we want at all. So now the zone's coming back and they're putting together a whole month of cards that I'm actually excited for. But when you're talking about the championship matches, you're starting off with is Julio Cesar Martinez and you're starting off with Katie Taylor and Delphine Pursues. That lets me know right there they are trying to start off doing better than the others, but right now it's still kind of finicky. So y'all got to work out something. You got to get these motherfuckers. Now it's a bunch of y'all in here so we can really hit off this shit. We got to get these dudes in stadiums. Get Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte in the Legion and New Raiders Stadium. Let them fight it out. That shit is in Las Vegas. Let these dudes get in California or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Let's get Mexican Death Step, California, Arizona, Texas, somewhere, Nevada. I don't give a fuck. Let's get it going. Let's get some matches happening. Bring these boys over to fucking You could bring them down here. Nah, you can't bring them to M&T. It's going to be too cold. You can take them anywhere south. Take them anywhere out to the West Coast. Put on some boxing match, social distance, seat per seat, and then that way you can still fill out the arenas. You can still have the fight you want, and that way that joint will still be live. You'll still get a gate for it, and the people will be happy. And we don't have to be subjected to this regurgitated bullshit that y'all trying to shove us, because I don't see no Arturo Gattis, Mickey Wards out of what y'all throwing us, man. It seems like some of these people don't even want to get in the ring. Like when I looked at Les Pierre versus goddamn Pedraza, I thought for the first 2 rounds, the kid had something wrong with him like Oliver McCall. He was bothering me. I was worried for his mental health. Like that dude just sat up against the ropes and got punched on for no reason and he wasn't even hurt. Like that shit was weird to me. So it's like, come on, bro. Like boxing has got to do better. And I said I wasn't going to shit on it no more. And I absolutely meant that. But man, we need more out of boxing, man.
Yeah, sure. Man. I said a couple weeks ago, Mr. Two Hands, that like they need to have some type of freaking big ass meeting with all of them, man. The promoters, the fighters, all of them. Everybody got to understand. Everybody got to take less. Like they got to come to some type of arrangement because the most of the problem is the money. Like, you know, and I get it. I mean, they athletes, they want their paper, so I get it. But it's like they got to understand, man, you got to take less right now. No fans. That's the problem. These athletes, you know, they feel like these athletes in football and basketball, nah, they got contracts. So they get paid regardless. Y'all motherfuckers not getting paid unless you get that money. Yeah.
They hand the mouth, bro. And shout out to Rachel, yo, because this shit is fire. She said AJ before his rematch released videos of shadow boxing, new footwork and movement, so his fans knew he was about to show something different. After the Wilder defeat, he was releasing videos of twerking. That's a fact, man. Like immediately, when AJ lost, he went straight to work. That Bama stayed back in New York for 2 weeks, getting his head together, but he went straight back to work. All I'm saying is, bro, and I got to go back here again, and I'm glad D. Jeff is here. I'm glad Boone is here. I'm glad Jay is here. I'm glad everybody's fucking here. I'm sorry, because I can hear, you know what I'm saying, some brilliant boxing minds, you know what I'm saying, some thoughts. Like, bro, I am hyper. I'm fucking hyper disgusted, bro. I'm hyper disgusted with, like, yo, like, the fact that we've got an Anthony Joshua, we've got a Canelo Alvarez who are willing to take pay cuts, who want to fight without a crowd. Anthony Joshua wanted to be on fight camp. Canelo was trying to fight first fucking month of the fall. Like, these dudes all sat up there and said they wanted to work, and now they giving out reasons why they can't take it. Like, they got, like, their life is so well set up that they can sit back and not grab the money when I believe Canelo was the only one who signed a $300-something million deal.
Right. Caleb Plant, bum ass, talk about some y'all better come right. Man, what the fuck you mean they better come right? You already blew it once, you better jump on it. Then you don't got one ahead of you. Ain't like the PBC gonna set you up with Benavidez. You ain't gonna see that fight. So what you gonna do? Fuck you gonna throw on a Canelo fight talking about they better come right like you got any kind of stock at all. What the fuck?
Now I'm gonna ask y'all fellas this. Anytime you ever had an opportunity of a lifetime, you know what I'm saying, to come all the way the fuck up. I don't care if it was on the street, I don't care if it was in a corporate office, I don't care if it was just something new, something you ran across when you was just walking down the street, you found $1,000 or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, yo, when you come all the way up, bro, when you know you got the opportunity to come all the way up, how do you feel about that? What's your mentality like? Like, how do you naturally feel? What is that feeling that comes out of you when you about to come all the way up? Bro, you get dumb hungry, you get adrenaline like shit, you get hella focused, and you're going to do whatever you got to do to get that bag. I don't get it. Who's hungry out here?
Bro, I used to be so thirsty. I would take your lifetime opportunity, my nigga. I'm taking everybody's lifetime opportunity.
These niggas ain't hungry. They too busy eating TV dinners. They don't want no real entrees out this joint. They don't want no Ruth Chris. They afraid to go out there and fight a Canelo. They afraid, you know what I'm saying? They're afraid to take on a big task. And look, this is the thing, bro. If all fighters are sitting back at 168 and fighters that are potentially at 160 thinking about coming up to 168, if you were sitting back and you were talking about, man, you know, I want to take Canelo fight, but you know what I'm saying, if it go to decision, you already know how it is in Vegas, man. You ain't getting no decision on Canelo. Man, bump all of that bullshit. If you going into that fight thinking you going to decision, you shouldn't be fighting Canelo anyway, because every fighter should be thinking they're going to slide their opponent. You shouldn't be thinking, I'm going to go to decision and beat this guy. You always think you're supposed to punish somebody if you put hands on them. All of these dudes already think in their mind that they can't win. They don't believe they can knock him out. That's where the narrative comes from, because they straight up pussy. Microwave dinner eating bastards. Bunch of fucking hungry man XXL eaters.
Right. And all they want is that paycheck. They know they can lose. That's why they're crying about that money. They think it might be the last time they fight, since they hold that shiny little belt, you know, it's gonna go away, bro. They know it. Callum Smith knew it. BJS knew it. Caleb Plant knew it. They know they can't beat that man, bro.
Man, bro, that's why, like, yo, I root so hard. I root so hard for the lower divisions, but then even in the fucking lower divisions, these niggas don't got no act right in them too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't even sit up here and act like, yo, it's just the big guys that be on some bullshit. Man, the little niggas be on some bullshit too.
Yeah, look at Luis Nery. Act like
Luis Nery, my nigga for sure. All of these dudes.
Yeah.
All of them. Like, come on, bro. Outside of who we already know that's holding them ring belts, you know what I'm saying, who really been putting in that work, who we talk about consistently, you know, your Josh Taylors, your Monster Noise, you know what I'm saying, like your Manny Pacquiao, what he just did, you know, outside of, you know, your usual suspects. Outside of the guys that we usually talk about and we usually hear, man, I'm so looking forward to this Teofimo Loma match, man. I don't need to keep hearing. It's getting pushed back. It's getting pushed back. This needs to happen for boxing. Bump the fight. Bump who wins. Boxing needs this fight. I'm telling you right now, this could really change the climate of boxing if these two get in the ring. Because I'm telling you, it's going to be such a good fight. It's going to be such a great fight and such a war of styles and attrition, bro. Like, people are going to be like, this is the greatest shit ever. If a nigga get knocked out or if they go to the decision, it's still going to be stylistically beautiful. It's going to be poetry and fucking motion. Shit like this needs to happen. I can't keep having languid events. I can't keep having languid fucking events. Events that keep getting slowed down time after time after time. They don't even come to fruition most of the time. Then we sitting there listening to these motherfuckers bitch on Twitter. They do more fighting on Twitter than anything.
Dana White killing them. Dana White killing them right now, boy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And even without the pandemic, even before the pandemic, we still couldn't get fights that we wanted to see.
Salute, Johnny boy.
So it's worse now that they have an excuse to say COVID. But even before COVID, there were only few fights that was satisfying the audience. So now it's worse. I think just in a general way, boxing has to do better.
Absolutely. And Torn Blaze, I can't agree with that. If you feel as though, you know what I'm saying, losing sets you back a year and a half, then, you know, some individuals just shouldn't be boxing, and this isn't a sport for you. Boxing is a sport of, you know what I mean, the fearless. A loss will always set you back, but it's not about the fall. It's about the get back. It's about how you get back up. Anthony Joshua showed that, you know, and he did that in the 6 months' time. So it ain't about bouncing back in a year and a half. What Andy Ruiz experienced was some goddamn money, with some beautiful women, with some celebrities, and a whole bunch of opulence that he has never experienced in his life before. So that overindulgence completely fucked him all the way up. You know what I'm saying? That's what caused him to catch the L. And then after that, you know, he had to deal with the humiliation of letting a whole country down. I think that weighs on his shoulders a little bit heavier than the next individual catching a loss. And the fashion in which he did it and the way Teddy Atlas and every other major news outlet dogged him out. Because now he really lived up to the freaking hot dog eating Disney up looking moniker that he truly had. So that was his problem. As a fighter, you know, you gotta stay mentally strong. Now I understand, you know, L's do take something out of people. But if you're sitting up there saying that, you know, if you're sitting up there saying losing these days isn't an option, you know, you ain't never supposed to think losing the option. But in boxing, niggas is going to lose. Not everybody going out with a perfect record. There's certain gems, but we ain't gonna have no bums sitting here skating with no goddamn oath and then sitting up there exalting them in the future, because they just gonna tear down everything from the past. Because these dudes ain't really doing nothing, bro. Because I can show you a Sugar Ray Leonard, a Tommy Hearns, I can show you a Wilfred Benitez, I can show you a Roberto Duran, and I can show you, you know what I'm saying, that could tell you right now that losing don't mean shit, because them niggas went round robin like a motherfucker.
Hey, Ruiz had that Buster Douglas syndrome, right? That 6-month champ type shit. Like, gets a new life he never had before, and all of a sudden everything just becomes relaxation. But he's already starting to bounce back better than Buster. Buster didn't have another fight. Well, he beat Tyson, and then he lost. So he didn't have a fight for another 6 fucking years, man. Ruiz is already planning to have another fight, right? He's already trying to book a fight.
He already training with Reynoso and everything. Like
okay,
said,
so
man,
he ain't off that bad. He ain't going the Buster Douglas route. You know what I mean? He ain't that.
Yeah. And gluttony is one of the most evil sins, you know, overindulgence, man. Like I said, any one of us, man, like I'm telling you, bro, I don't care if a person don't have religious principles or not. If you don't stand on something better, you got to stand for something or you're going to fall for anything, bro. And that is the type of stuff. When you get in those type of circles, man, people don't give a fuck about you. You got hot in the moment. He started feeling himself. And then when the money started drying up and he started really waking up and realizing what got here is what I need to be focusing on. I need to focus on what got me here. Then, you know what I mean? He went in that ring and got embarrassed. That hurt him, but still, he picking back up. My whole thing is, bruh, we got to stop looking at this sport like a loss is a fucking end all be all. It is not. Clearly, Anthony Joshua is lost. Clearly, Regis Prograis is lost. Clearly, a lot of individuals is lost and came back. Shit, Casimiro. Think about what Tevin Farmer went through before he even saw his title. Like, it's what it is. Saw Rungvisai. Shit, he lost what? 4 of his first 5 or some shit like that. It happens, bro. It happens, and he turned out to be one of the best fucking fighters in the fucking world.
It all.
No, and I wanted to say this, when Jay Boo, after what you said the first time, here's another thing about that taking a loss setting you back a year and a half. I was waiting for somebody to say this. If y'all get y'all punk ass in the ring more than twice a year, it don't set you back. See, that's the problem with these motherfuckers. I'm not trying to, I've been saying this for a long time. Bro, I'm not with all this twice a year shit. But they get comfortable, they start getting that money, and they get into the mode of only fighting twice a year. Navarrete fight more than twice a year. Tevin Farmer was fight. These guys can fight more than twice a year. You want to get back in there and get your name back, get your fucking ass back in the ring. Take a fight after a fight after a fight. People going to take notice because you're going to be one of the only people doing that anyway. If you want to get back, you can get back, bro.
Yeah, you can easily get back. You know, you just gotta have that fire, man, and that focus, man. And it's not too much to ask. It's not too much to ask, but it all starts with you. So if you're not there, and you really not in it, then you're not gonna get back. And really, if you're not in it, you need to stay out of it because you can truly hurt yourself, or you can hurt yourself 2 ways. You can put yourself in the hospital and end up dead. Or you can really mentally tear yourself up out of humiliation of going out there and just getting dragged all night.
Take a look at Andy Ruiz, right? He beats Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua comes right back and get in the ring with him, right? Anthony Joshua beats him. He fucking turns down a fight, bro. You turn down a fight, you need to get right back on the saddle. No, but he turns down a fight. See, this is the culture of today. No, what did the guys do back in the day? They took the loss, they got their ass back in the ring.
Yeah, Eddie and 2 hands, Jay. You came on the panel. Yeah, but you see what they're missing out of boxing right now, and is a main ingredient in sport. Risk. Risk is what makes you into a star. If you don't take risk, if people don't think what you're doing is risky in any kind of performance or any kind of sports, if you're being too safe, you can't be a star. And that is
no risk it, no biscuit.
Exactly. These guys don't want to take risk. Back in the day, when you had people like Marvin Hagler, that is why I give him a lot of kudos. I rate him highly because that guy went searching, hunting for the toughest fight. He wanted the biggest fight. And he had to become a star. In fact, he was a very good fighter. Hagler was probably better than most of these guys at fighting now. But Hagler knew that he was not going to get the notoriety if he didn't get into the fights that people considered risky, that people considered that the other person can beat you in this fight. He searched for Sugar Ray. He begged for that fight because he and not that Hagler thought that it would be an easy fight, you know. Hagler knew it would be one of his hardest fights. Hagler even knew that he could have lost that fight, even though he was confident that he'd win. But it's taking the risk that will give you the notoriety. And I think these new age boxers want notoriety without risk. And it's making boxing boring because they're only taking safe fights, and safe fights don't excite people. They don't excite people like casual fans. They don't even excite people who really love boxing, like you and I. You know, so they're not taking any risk, and it's going to kill boxing. You have a few fighters around who will want to take risk.
Teofimo.
Hey, man. Hey, D, stop talking. Stop talking your Teofimo.
Teofimo. He's taking the risk.
Teofimo fanboy. You're a Teofimo fanboy.
Hey, man, but for real, no risk it, no biscuit, man. At the end of the day, Like you got to look, man. This is a sport, man, where you got to go for it. Like Floyd, why you think Floyd went up there and fought Oscar at his weight with the gloves he wanted and everything, and that dude didn't even weigh, he didn't even make the weight. Floyd didn't even crack 150.
Floyd had to be a big star.
No, he was 148.
He did what he had to do. He took that risk to get that bag. You know what I mean? And that's what these fighters need to understand. Y'all act like y'all want to implement this whole type of Floyd Mayweather, you know what I'm saying, moves, but y'all ain't even beginning to do the first Floyd Mayweather move. Exactly. Go out there and dog the dogs.
Exactly.
We don't have no pretty boy Floyds in this goddamn era. Pretty boy Floyd was whooping the shit out of people. We don't have none of them. That's what pretty boy Floyd had to do to get to be money made. Y'all not the pretty boy Floyd. None of you.
Doing that now. Exactly, D. We don't have any pretty boy Floyd. Floyd was willing to take on people. I'm not saying that he took on every single person. You can't take on everybody, but nobody can say that Floyd didn't take on competition.
Look, I hear a lot of people talk. Look, I don't got no disrespect with nobody and how people feel about Manny Pacquiao or whatever, but I hear a lot of people always try to shit on my man. But the fact still remains, you know what I'm saying, 49-0, you can count that 50 shit if you want with Conor McGregor, but I say 49-0, you know what I mean, with over 20 motherfucking champions underneath his belt. So you tell me how many motherfucking fighters got over 20 fucking champions in fucking 49 fights, and he fought nothing but dogs on his fucking way up. And even when his fucking hands was fucked up, he still kept it moving with credible motherfucking fighters. But don't get no credit for it. But at the same time, Manny Pacquiao can go behind them 2 years later, fight them same guys with different stipulations, and y'all give him all the credit in the world with fucking 7 losses, and he got knocked out by Marquez and lost to the dude. All I'm saying is this: respect both of them for what they did. You can't hate one and exalt the other, because how does it make sense if I came to you and I had an argument with you, and the dude we talking about right now is 2 years younger than Floyd, still fighting right now, still trying to chase legacy, and trying to, you know what I mean, still trying to chase the shadow of Floyd Mayweather. He's still fighting, but Floyd kicked up right now, the older dude with his feet up, and he did everything he needed to do in 49 fights, and he beat you. And he got 20-plus champions under his belt. And he beat the shit out the dude that fucking took you through fucking hell with gasoline, and your gasoline drawers on fucking 4 fucking times. And he only had to do it once. So at the end of the day, my thing is this: let's keep it a bean about Floyd. Floyd was an official fighter. Who have you ever seen dismantle Diego Corrales in the fashion you seen Floyd Mayweather do it? Nobody.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that.
Oh, go ahead. My bad, too, man.
No, I was just gonna say, man, people like this man fought fucking bums his whole career or something like that. That shit blow me, man.
Yeah.
Because if y'all want to talk about Pacquiao, man, talk about the fact that Pacquiao fought all of the dudes Floyd fought after him, and Floyd 2 years older than that man. And then people talk about, oh, well, he fought him late. He fought him late. How the fuck did he fight him late, and he was the older guy in the damn fight? And then he goes in there, all he was doing was hitting shoulders in there, and then this nigga lose the fight, get out the ring, and he complain about his shoulder. But don't nobody hold Manny Pacquiao accountable for his excuses. But y'all want to jump on Floyd.
Oh, I blamed his ass for that. I was like, come on, come on. I just said
I don't count the 50th win because McGregor ain't no boxer. That's why I said in my eyes he 49-0. That 50th fight was more of a little fuck around, but exhibition. But go ahead, D. That shit just blow me, dog.
Yeah, nah, bro. I agree with everything you said, bro. Like, see, the thing like that, like everything you just said, that's how I be getting accused of being a Floyd fan or something. Because the whole point is respect both these guys. You can't knock one, especially when like both of these guys' careers are somewhat based on the other's name. So you can't knock one and not praise the other. You just can't do that.
Hey, the thing about Floyd is if you only know him from his later career when he's money, if that's all you see is the defensive shit and you think he doesn't truly fight, like, you gotta understand, dude, he's a science experiment on the level of Mike Tyson, but even more so because they found Mike when he was like 11 or 12, 13. Like Floyd, they had him boxing, or his dad had him boxing since, you know, he's a baby in the crib throwing punches and shit. So he's been indoctrinated since he was a fucking damn near fetus to do this.
Bro, did you see the picture of Mike Tyson when he was 12? That motherfucker looked like he was about 19, dog.
He was a grown-ass man, but dig this though, off of what Jay was saying. Go back to the first 24/7. The first 24/7 when he was fighting Oscar De La Hoya, when they was talking to his sisters, I think it was on like the second or third episode. What do you know what I'm saying? When they talking about the family, Floyd never had the opportunity to be a kid. That's why Floyd acted the way he acted when he grew up, because his dad constantly had him in the gym. He never had a breather. During barbecues, it's on video on 24/7. During barbecues, all his cousins, all his brothers or whatever, they had to get in that goddamn ring and fight. It was barbecues, dancing, and boxing. That was it. His brother, his father, and Black Mamba, them niggas was running around they was running around Philly beating up everything.
You imagine Mayweather Sr. and fucking Roger Mayweather like egging you on as a little kid, like their energy, they're competing with each other through these kids. Like my kid gonna whoop your motherfucking kids at.
There'll never be another like it. Because look, put it in this perspective. I'm sorry, go ahead.
You know what we can't overlook in all of this though, in keeping to what I was saying before, even with all of that skill and science being invested in Floyd, there is one element that made Floyd into the star that he is now. You see, his dad and his uncles, they were boxers too, and they
absolutely
they were totally, they had confidence in Floyd. They thought, and Floyd thought, that nobody could beat him. And because of that, they weren't afraid to put Floyd in the tough fights.
Of course you confident. Of course you confident in Floyd. You want to know why you confident in Floyd? Because from birth, y'all been doing the same thing y'all was doing with Floyd that y'all was doing out in them streets. Knuckling. Y'all had him on the heavy bag since he was a baby in the gym. He knew what a gym smelled like before he knew what a breast of Similac smelled like. This dude eat that shit. But what I was gonna say was, I get so pissed off about how people treat Floyd Mayweather, because my thing is this: everybody exalt Rocky Marciano, right? Rocky Marciano only got fucking three really credible wins on his motherfucking record, if you really want to think about him, and they exalt him and call him the best in the fucking world. So how does Floyd Mayweather get shitted on so bad? I'm trying to figure it out.
That's a fact, bro, because Rocky Marciano, it was known this dude was bringing friends in the ring, literal taxi drivers. I think that might be where the phrase come from. He was fighting taxi drivers. It might have come from Rocky Marciano, because that fool was literally fighting taxi drivers.
Oh, he would age dudes the fuck out. He would age them all the way out before he fought them.
Marciano had a whole race behind him that wanted to celebrate a white champion. And so a lot of his notoriety wasn't from that is an example of something else outside of boxing, outside of the ring, getting you to a position in boxing. So because the white society were determined that they want a great in boxing and they have to have it. And so a lot of his plaudits came from that sentiment. But because he never fought, I don't think, as D is saying, I don't think that he fought the toughest competition. But what I was saying about Floyd, even though Floyd had all of those skills and had all of that pedigree in his background and so on, he wouldn't become the star that he is and that he did become if he didn't fight risky fights. So you could still have all of that skill, you know, but if you don't fight the fights that people, and in Floyd couldn't get away with what a lot of people getting away with now.
No.
Because nobody was going to give Floyd any kind of credit if he didn't fight the tough fights and beat the tough people who they thought could beat Floyd, right? So Floyd had to do that to become a star. These guys not doing that to become a star nowadays. Because
my thing is, Arturo Gatti could fight every fucking scrub in Atlantic City, and they just let his ass, they just exalt the fuck out of him. But they got Floyd jumping through, you know what I'm saying? They got him jumping through hoops with gasoline draws on. I'm like, God damn, bro, like, kill him, my man. Corrales, Castillo, Baltimore, like, God, y'all trying to kill this man.
But why you think Floyd has ended up being a bigger star than people like Gatti? Because Arturo was pumped up and wasn't fighting the toughest competition. Floyd had to become what he became. One of Muhammad Ali's biggest biggest fight, like worldwide, is when he fought Foreman in Africa, you know. And because at the time Foreman was a killer.
Yeah.
Foreman was a killer. That is why that fight is so revered. We're not going to have fights like those if these guys don't want to take on the other man who can beat him. These guys not doing that. We need to see the guys that we think are the best squaring off against each other. Boxing running a chance of not doing that, and that just makes boxing boring, man. Because right now the pandemic has slowed down boxing. When boxing comes back, it has to come back with a bang. So these stables have a challenge. They have a big challenge. They have a big job on their hand to do, because boxing has taken a little lull because of the pandemic. And if we come back with these no entity fights, it's going to peter out to something else that we don't want it to peter out to. So they need to come with people they need to come with risky fights. They need to come with people who can beat each other. We can't, too much of the safe picks are hurting boxing. Yeah, too much safe.
Hey,
picks.
the fifth grader always wins. I ain't lying. I get my ass quick now. Are you smarter than a fifth grader? On the video game on the Wii, I used to play with my daughter. Yeah, shout out to all you smarter than the fifth grader and fucking and Deontay Wilder's refrigerator, because I know he's still teaching his brother how to spell with them goddamn refrigerator but fucking magnets.
No, man, that dude.
But guys, can I ask a question in the
Of
chat?
course.
Do you think that because I heard you talking earlier on the two hands, and we're talking about Dillian, and I kind of want to go back there a little. Do you think that Dillian had improved over the 4 years that Tibbs had him?
Absolutely, and that is my biggest problem for Croy, because I feel like he made such an improvement per freaking fight, and I felt like they gelled together, man. Like I said, they go together like a peanut butter and jelly smacker, man. Like, you know, like real rap. Like those dudes, they climbed together. Everything that Dillian Whyte was achieving, you know, for me, it wasn't Jonathan Banks that brought him to the promised land. It was Mark Tibbs and, you know, his studious work and making him technically sound that was getting him there. After the Oscar Rivas fight, and I got to see how he was perfecting that jab and staying behind that jab, and, you know, how he was getting his head off the line and stuff like that, I started seeing more and more come up out of Dillian, and you could see the confidence growing in his technique and the way he let his hands go. But now we 6 weeks from the fight, and Mark Tibbs isn't with him, whatever the reason is, and you say it's amicable, cool. But, you know, as a fight fan and as, you know, content creators and enthusiasts, we have to be serious here and say, yo, end fucking boxing and a championship fight where a guy who has nothing to fucking lose, that is an absolute positively problem.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's the timing of the move, two hands. I think it's the timing of the move. That is because fighters can think they want a change in their training. But I think the timing, I think 6 weeks before the fight, I'm not sure. I don't know if that is the smartest. If this was the smartest time to do it.
So what? He's just gonna run his own corner in the fight? Is he gonna get his girl in there like Mike Perry? Like, what the fuck's gonna? What's the plan, bro? Is he just like, fuck it, I'm gonna wing it? Does he even know?
That's a good thought, Jay, because I was thinking that, and in extension, I was thinking, I haven't heard him mention anybody else. I don't know who is the possible replacement, and is he going to be feeling around for a replacement so close to the fight?
Like at this point, to get somebody close to you that would actually know, like you'd have to bring in a sparring partner, or just somebody that used to spar. Just it's too close to the fight. This is fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's the timing. It's the timing that I'm not understanding. If he wanted to make a change, why would he do it so close to the fight?
He's probably gonna get back with him in a few days. He's gonna realize this is retarded. I have no plan. Like I have to redo this. I have to fucking mend this shit.
See, this is the thing. Like when P was talking to me earlier about the situation, he was trying to put it in perspective like this. You know, he's been over in Portugal. You know, people don't know what's going on. You know, so maybe he's been putting in a different regimen. Then I said, well, shit. Well, how much could he have been doing considering that all we were dealing with at that time? So I can't say that he was doing a lot of training at that time, considering that he bought three damn dogs with him down to Portugal and all of that stuff. I really don't think his mind was really on training when he went to Portugal. I think it was more on safety, reprieve, and relaxing and stuff like that, because all of the stuff with the WBC, all of that BS was going on at the time. Now I think that when he was trying to get camp ready or whatever, I'm just hypothetically speaking, maybe, but behind the scenes, stuff wasn't working right and they couldn't get together, so he probably tried to move forward. But regardless of whatever, bro, if you would have had to get back to UK, I'd have had to take my ass back to UK, because this is the thing, man. When you got, like I keep telling people, man, a good trainer is like a fucking marriage, bro. You don't you never do that. You just don't leave a good trainer. It just doesn't work out like that. I don't care how much you want to learn, bro. Like, I'm just not going to walk out on Emmanuel Stewart if I'm Lennox Lewis, or if I'm fucking Vladimir Klitschko. I'll be goddamn. Like that's his Emmanuel Stewart, in my opinion. And he walked away from it 6 weeks before Povetkin, who is 40 years old, nothing to lose, got a devastating left hook, who keeps his head off the line like a motherfucker, who only lost to Anthony Joshua and a Klitschko, who is ready for war, who realizes that this is the biggest opportunity in his life. If he knocks you off, he gets a fast track straight into that WBC spot. And to be perfectly honest, he deserves it as well, because he's been fighting his ass off. So at the end of the day, like, man, this is sketchy for me, man.
And the way Dillian Whyte looked against Marius Vok, I don't give a fuck if he have time left or not. Just the way he looked in that fight, Povetkin can give him some work, bro. Povetkin can damn sure give him some work.
Man, bro, they both left hook responsible, and they like operating. And Dillian already said, I posted, I don't know if y'all seen the video that I dropped today, but I even posted it on the joint and even let it be known that, Dillian's been constantly talking about he wants to make it a tear up with Povetkin. Fuck all of that tear up talk, bro. You need to be trying to make it through. You need to be trying to make it to that damn next spot. You need to get there. Bump a tear up. You need to go out, box smart, get the freaking win, and stop focusing on getting the damn tear up. You know what I'm saying? Because he's at that, he already lost, but he still fights like he ain't never damn lost before. You know what I mean? He goes out there joint. He don't care. He will trade with you. And he does not need to be. If he trades with Povetkin and Povetkin the inch shorter, he's going to get clipped on the chin and get knocked out. I promise you
that. It begs the question, how important is your team? What are the kind of people that you should have in your team? I think advisors in boxing,
yeah, man,
are underrated. I think when you're making a team that goes around with you, you should have an advisor that you sit and talk to, and somebody with experience to advise you on some of the decisions you make. I was never confident that Dillian Whyte had what I'd call a proper team. I don't know where this so-called brother comes from. I don't know what he is in Dillian Whyte's camp. If I don't know what Dean is, if he's a bigger brother to him, or I heard that
he kind of like moves and shakes a little bit behind the scenes. Like he's like Dillian supporting at the same time. He kind of does business for him behind the scenes, like shaking stuff up. He goes and talks with the other fighters and stuff like that about them making the fights with him and stuff like that. And I know he runs another podcast, and he's got a couple of fighters on his own. So he is a major part of what Dillian Whyte has going on. But at the same time, he has fighters as well. There's another guy that Dillian Whyte has with him as well, ball skin, light skin guy that's with him a lot too.
Yeah. Remember when, because I like to take a lot of my examples from the old school, and lots of the I mean, I have watched where when Muhammad Ali just won his gold medal and was going to go professional. And it was a group of older white guys who, businessmen, who first started to promote, to market and promote Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay at the time. And I thought they did a good job. Even up to the time when he took the fight with the Big Bear, with Sonny Liston. It's as I'm saying about who is behind the scenes advising people, advising these fighters, because I can't see why Dillian would make a decision like that at this point. All I can think is that it's just bad advice. It's just wrong direction. Somebody pointed him in the wrong direction, and it could cost him the fight.
Man, that's detrimental, bro. Because look, man, Tony fucking took the words right out of my mouth, bro. If I can find this shit again, it's like, you know, if Dillian Whyte gets in trouble, he will need Tibbs, who knows this fighter, to get him out of trouble. A new trainer so soon will not know what Dillian can do. Equals wrong advice, maybe. And I absolutely agree. When you in trouble like that in new days, you need that familiar voice. You need that familiar face. You need that person that knows what to do, who know the right way to smack you, the right way to throw water in your face, the right way to squeeze the sponge over the top of your head, put ice on your back, open your shorts, do whatever. They got their step-by-step process of knowing what wakes you up. Everybody operate different. Some people might need a good, you know, shake and rub on the face. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and then go focusing on the cold compress and shit like that. Everybody's different in the corner. And the only person that knows that is the main freaking trainer that deals with them constantly, day in, day out, and understand those mannerisms and stuff like that. You're not getting it standing behind them, looking around the corner, just whispering in his ear is the number 3. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. He needs
I think the only thing that can be an exception to the rule is, and it's going to be very rare, because I agree with everything you said. The only thing that could be an exception to the rule is if it's a fighter like, you know, Floyd, or just any smart fighter. You know what I mean? They may be able to make the transition, but even still with them. But let's be honest, Dillian Whyte ain't no fucking high IQ fighter, bro. So he's going to be able to make that transition, dog.
Man, he's a fighter who learns everything off of repetition. Constantly, good repetition. I'm not saying the dude's no idiot, but I'm just saying he's not the most fluent guy. He's not the most flowy guy. He ain't the greatest boxer puncher. You know what I mean? He's a rough and rugged heavyweight who makes the best out of his technique. You know, and that's what he's supposed to do. He makes the best out of his fundamentals. And Mark knows that. And that's what he's been doing with him his whole career. Like, we're not going to go outside and try to make this dude something he's not. Let's take what we got right here and let's go ahead and mold this kickboxing shit into some boxing shit. And that's what he did, technically, one bit by bit. Now, I'm just saying, when it comes to spots in trouble, because in this fight, they both will be in trouble. There's no doubt about it.
The thing about a good trainer, like you said, he knows how to make his fighter perform. He knows how to do the exact thing to get him back, right? What if it's not even that he needs him when he's in trouble? What if he, like the trainer for him, his trainer, the one that needs to be around him, that he got rid of, is going to see levels and see things happening, see things opening up, seeing things start to happen that will lead to him being in trouble. He's going to stop it 10 steps before he ever gets in trouble, because he's going to tell him little adjustments. That's what you need a good trainer for. It's not to get you to the fight. You already know how to fight. You already know how to train. He needs adjustments in between rounds to help you progress the fight.
Right, like you got to know how to make the proper adjustments with your fighter. You know, man.
Where you'll never
man,
be
I'm trying to tell you, when that come, you know what I mean. Luckily, it ain't no real audience, so you know you can actually hear your coach's voice or whatever like that. But I'm just saying, this shit might feel different. You out there by yourself now. This is a whole different dynamic to a fight, because ain't no fans out there. All of your weaknesses are going to be exposed to the world. Your breathing, you know, like your inhales, your exhales, you know what I'm saying? Like all of that shit, it's going to be exposed to the world. You're going to hear every gas, every spit, every murmur, every ugh. You're going to hear all of it.
Yeah,
I don't know if any of you remember the fight. I think it was Michael Moore who was coaching him at the time. was it Teddy Atlas?
Yeah,
more,
Teddy.
Teddy
Yeah.
Atlas and Michael Moore.
Which
Yeah.
fight?
Yes. When I think you know where I'm going with these two hands and the rest of the panel too. When Teddy actually talked him into getting that.
I already know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the first Holyfield fight, right?
Yes, when he was speaking to him in the corner at each time he came in, and
It's that inspiration, man.
yeah, it was because he knew Mora very well, you know. Because even the media after that was attributing the win more to Teddy Atlas than Michael Mora himself.
Because he did that same shit. Teddy Atlas has done that so many times before, but that was the good one. When he did that for Michael Mora, and the other one was when he did it for Alexander Povetkin. When he did that shit for Povetkin, that was another good one. He did that shit for Bozic. Man, Teddy Atlas a beast, man. If I was a fighter, that's a fact. If I was a fighter, man, I had to have me a Teddy in my corner because look, I'm a super alpha male, bro. Like you got to kind of berate me in a sense.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Because
go ahead, get in there. Give her firing.
Yeah.
Get in there.
Like, man, you gonna let this punk mother? Like, you got to go on me like that. You out there swinging like a sissy? You backing it like a little bit?
What's
Like,
her
you
name?
got to come at me like that. Like when I'm training and stuff like that, you got to know when to turn me up and then stay off and keep me turned down too. But I'm the type of dude where you have to berate me. You got to give me that energy. You got to give me that thing. I need that extra thing that other people ain't getting because I'm passionate about the sport. I'm passionate about a fight. I'm passionate about sport. I'm not just coming in this joint looking at it like, oh, this is a sport. This is a fight. Nah, motherfucker, I'm coming here to take your motherfucking head off.
Exactly. Teddy, with the proper energy, it isn't just overhyped, crazy, red in the face screaming. He's getting you to the place where you need to be, man. Like he's, you know what I mean? He's transforming your mind with that shit.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like that type of honesty. What is the old saying, fellas? The truth hurts. And the truth comes out, and people nowadays, you're telling the truth, they'll fucking cry and fucking fool. But that's the thing that fighters always needed to, you know what I'm saying, to make it through. Just like something as little as Joe Goosen when freaking Diego Corrales spit out his mouthpiece and he gave him that look in his eye. He said, you better fucking get it done now, kid. Like, he went out there and dropped that combination on Castillo and put him to sleep. Still one of the best fights ever. Up there with Ron Lau, George Foreman, definitely one of the greatest fights ever. Up there with Chocolatito, Sword, Run Beside One, like, they're doing better than that with me. But
Ron Lau, George Foreman's about to give Howard Cosell a heart attack. Now, George is down. Oh, Jesus.
Bro, it's just one of them things where it's like, man, look, I feel like in boxing, I'm just like, yo, I like the trainers that are very, very verbally hands-on, if you get what I'm saying. Like a Teddy Atlas, verbally hands-on.
Emmanuel
like
Stewart will curse you the fuck out, man.
Absolutely. That's why I love guys like Emmanuel Teddy.
Fuck around and talk some crazy shit.
And
Get
then
him
you
out of
can
here.
and you can have coaches like your Virgil Hunters too. Because see, this is what people don't understand. You don't never even have to pick up a boxing glove and throw a fucking punch to know how to coach boxing. I swear to God.
What'd he say?
Virgil Hunter has never laced up boxing gloves. He has never been a fucking pro boxer. And this motherfucker trained Andre Ward and trained several other individuals and look at him. Because the thing is, you study the damn sport. You break it down analytically and look at what you're looking at, know what you're looking at. Go in the gym, see things in repetition constantly. And Virgil Hunter, he's the most quiet of the trainers. He don't make a lot of noise, but he an inspirational talker, low key. Just like motherfucking Teddy Atlas did. That's why motherfucking Andre Ward rised up in that first fight. I don't care what nobody say whether you think he won or lost, but he controlled the whole later portion of the fight based off of how Virgil was talking to him, man. Virgil special.
Of course. That's a great example. I think intelligence goes a far way, you know, and I just think boxers has to and humility also. But I think we can't understate the importance of your corner, the importance of the people around you. Right. Yeah, I think some of our fighters are not putting enough thought into the people that they pick or the people that they drop from around them. You know.
You know.
Yeah, we have to be careful with that.
Absolutely, man. I just, like for real. And I think, it's conversations like these, and it's the constant, it's the constant drive to want to see the sport excel, to want to see the sport do better, but I can't have more passion. I can't want it more than we can't want it more than the company want it. We can't want it more than the fighters want it. So guess what? I'm about to put my motherfucking money up behind this shit, man. I'm about to get out. Like I'm telling you, I'm about to get out here and I'm about to change some shit up because people about to see me in person. And I'm about to use my, my way of wit and talk to these dudes to force certain conversations out of them. They're not really going to like my presence because there's certain things that need to be said to these boxers so we can get certain shit done. For real. And these other dudes not doing it. I thought Ness Mendoza was about to start getting on his job, but then he took a couple bills and fell the fuck back, put a dildo straight up his ass. These dudes they don't care. Like, yo, after the fight, why is it that before the fight, you know what I mean, the fighters get exalted or, they don't say too much, so much favoritism, but then after the fight is over, you get the brutal honesty from the fucking commentator. Y'all notice that? Anytime before a fighter fights, right, you put them all up on the pedestal. You talk about both of them like they great. Leading up to the fight, they all of this and that and all of this and that. But then after the fight is over, you criticize him about his opposition and then you criticize him about his style and this and that. Why can't you do that before the fight even happens, bro?
And don't sell. I'm trying to sell that motherfucker. Get the network paid.
It'll make niggas do better, man.
But the thing is, the promoters are selling, but some of the fighters buying it. They can't differentiate what's selling from what is plaudits that they're actually getting. So you see that's selling sometimes toward the thinking of the boxers themselves, and they're buying to it. They're buying to their own. They're buying to the selling. They're buying to what is being said about them. And then when they get into the ring, I think what the image that they have of themselves in their head is not what is actually being presented in the ring. The image that they're selling, and all of that, to me, it goes back down to sort of bad advice, because if you hear what the media do to sell a fighter, that's what the media has to do sometimes.
Disgusting.
What does your corner say to you? What does the people in your corner? What do the people around you say to you? When you're in the gym, are they still telling you that you're the best in the world and nobody can beat you? Or there are people there who will tell you the truth if you're doing something well or if you're not doing something well? That is damaging a lot of boxers.
Like you got to I'm gonna tell you got to straight up tell the motherfucker like, look, you don't berate a dude, but you got to let him know, be like, look, man, you training like some straight up ass right now, bruh. Like for real, you showing up late. You're not hitting the bag with no conviction. I'm not hearing the pop off the bag. Look at you, man. You training like some ass. You throwing your jab out there weak. Look at your footwork. You positioned all fucking wrong. You out here looking like Darkwing Duck with your goddamn feet all wide. Get your shit together, Holmes.
No, but they're not saying that to us.
I know, but they need to.
Yeah, but they need to, because what they're producing is just not. It's like you going to watch a bike show, and when you get there, the riders are riding the bikes on two wheels, past you, going down the track and coming back on the two wheels. It's not an exciting show. You want to go to a show where the bikers are taking chances and are riding putting the bike on one wheel, on the front wheel, riding on just the back wheel alone, and taking chances. But you can't have ordinary riders around you, and you're telling them that they are daredevils. They're not. If they're not daredevils, they're not. You need to make them know and go and learn some skill. Go and practice that with that bike and be able to do some trickery. Raise your level. They're not raising the level. They're not raising the level because the team around them, the people around them, are not boxing driven. They don't really love boxing. I think people probably hype the fighters enough in the media to get them a big fight, a one-off big fight, whether they lose or not. They'll make some money.
Yo,
But,
like, go ahead.
you know?
I was just gonna say, like, this is literally what they have done. Like, the PBC have literally took a few years and they've made this business model a possibility. It's like, shoot, all we gotta do is just pay our main guy, our marquee guy. Shit, we can sign several bums, pay them basically fucking nothing. That way we get ours, you know what I'm saying? They get theirs, and we can just keep this thing moving. Fuck them other guys. As long as they knock dudes out and they make it look spectacular, man, all we got to do is just bring these dudes from around here, pump they, you know what I mean, they little record up a little bit, have them, you know, with some undefeated record, man, because they was fighting some little dude that got the body of a freaking chicken wing in some corner of Mexico or something like that. And just, you know, bring them in here 20-0, and then, hey, man, we'll make these guys a star. So just like, you know, Dion, that's the same practice they've done with 90% of those guys, and it just shows now. It's like they don't even hide it no more.
But it's going to show when they turn up in a fight. Povetkin is not to be underrated. I like Dillian Whyte, but Dillian Whyte is going into a fight with a consummate professional.
Yeah, you want to live with a killer.
Yeah, that Povetkin can win. Even though I'm going with Whyte, but he has to be in the right state of mind. He has to be in the right shape, because that Povetkin can win. I don't think Povetkin is as skillful as Anthony Joshua, or more skillful where it comes to boxing ability.
Yeah, because we got to be realistic. Povetkin had Joshua in trouble, broke his fucking nose and everything in that fight. Joshua didn't even really get comfortable until like the 5th round.
Yeah, he was.
Dillian Whyte hurt Joshua too.
No, that was a one left hook, because if Whyte could fight better, he'd have Joshua in much more trouble.
He wobbled him after he was already wobbled, man.
Yeah, Joshua got wobbled, but it was with one left hook. He didn't follow up. He didn't do much before that left hook, and he didn't do much with Joshua after that left hook either. I'm saying that if he was a better boxer.
Yo, that shit funny as hell when Joshua hit that boy though, man. That nigga legs did the stanky real quick, yeah. That Bama legs did the James Brown and some more shit. That nigga legs said, "I got the feeling." I got the feeling.
He had them purple ass shorts on in that fight. Them purple ass shorts.
He beat the bonies off that boy, man.
He beat the bonies off that nigga. Oh shit, man.
That nigga, yo, I mean, when he flailed, like, yo, when he hit him, his arm flailed. He flailed. That Bama arm went out the rope. Young, that nigga head and neck was on the rope. I said, good Lord. I said, Joshua killed that boy. I said, that's power right there.
Right. I'm somebody going to question Joshua's power. Did you see how he knocked him out, bro?
Oh my God.
Yeah,
it was ugly, man. It was ugly.
That was a big fight, man. and at the time, none of them were champions or anything. But it was quite a good fight. But Whyte has to be careful with Povetkin, because Povetkin can fight. So he has to be careful. He can't take him lightly. I think only Joshua, I think, is more danger to Whyte than Povetkin. I don't think Dillian has fought anybody who is as dangerous to him in a fight than apart from Joshua than Povetkin. So this is a tricky one for Dillian.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Povetkin is more dangerous. I do think Joseph Park is a tough fight, but I don't think he's more dangerous than
Yeah, exactly.
Hey D, think about it, bro. Think about it like this, bro. You 40 years old. You only lost in championship matches, right?
Right.
You've been a champion. You done sauced everybody, you know what I'm saying, you done came in contact with. Now you 40 years old. You just fought Michael Hunter, who was a top 10 guy, young, prime, ready, training under Hakeem Rockman and the boys, young firecracker. You basically, you can argue either way. He won, or just say it was a draw. I just feel comfortable just saying it was a draw, even though I believe that Povetkin pointed it out by one due to effective aggression during the second half of the fight and Michael gassing out. But regardless, if you coming off that fight with Michael Hunter, the way he came at you and he couldn't end you, and you beat that young boy, on top of the fact that you know now you're fighting Dillian Whyte, and you know he has the interim belt. And Mauricio has then came out and made it very clear. The whole world is up on this knowledge that Dillian Whyte is getting his fight after, you know what I mean, right after the Wilder Fury fight. So, you know what I mean? That's going to make you 20 times hungrier. And the fact that you already lost and you 40, once again, you don't have nothing to lose. He is at his most dangerous.
That's true.
That's a fact, man.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact. So Dillian better get all the pieces of the jigsaw.
He better do like I say, Croy. Dillian Whyte better come to the party with his best shit on. Don't come in no polo because they got Gucci and Louis in there, dog.
That nigga better come. He better come with some motherfucking long, like some meter sticks attached to his legs or something like that. Keep his jaw straight. Be get hit. Some joints don't go noodle on him. Attach some stills to them joints.
Hey, that dude Povetkin got a stiff ass blow.
Bro. and Povetkin, what's scary about Povetkin is people don't know it. He like to paw and feint. He like to paw, feint, level change, and keep his head off the line and get real sneaky. He like to press, but he does it in a real kind of like he's poised though. But he gonna press you out. And he gonna keep consistent head movement, and he gonna hit you like this motherfucker. He loves sneaky right hands, and he loves that nasty ass little short left right hook, man. I'm telling you, he's gonna be in that bitch tricky. So Dillian Whyte better get familiar because it took Joshua a little while to download that data, and if Joshua didn't have that smoking power in that right hand and just pretty much took that man whole power. Like this dude shut down like he got hit with EMP on a fucking building on a Friday night or some shit. Like this dude shut all the way down. I mean, gone. Like he ain't played his building like 3 months when Joshua hit him.
They gotta remember too, Mr. Two Hands, that Dirk Chisora was outboxing him before it stopped. Dirk Chisora was winning on the card before he stopped.
He was winning.
But I know you said you see Two Hands that Dillian made improvement on the Tibbs tutelage. I agree with you to a very, very great extent. In fact, I agree with that statement. I think he made improvement, but I also think that Dillian Whyte has a ceiling, and
I agree.
I think quite a few boxers nowadays, I think, have a ceiling. I think Dillian Whyte is one of them.
And
he is limited.
And people gonna find out when he get in the ring with my boy Tyson Fury and get deuced up.
I don't see him beating Tyson Fury, to be quite honest. I think Dillian Whyte probably has gotten to the best he can be. And that is, I could be wrong. He could prove me wrong, but I think, and if he was to improve any further, I think it's Tibbs that would get him to improve. I think he just has a ceiling, and he has hit the ceiling.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
I just believe that Dillian Whyte, his ceiling is based off his athleticism. It's not based off technical ability. You know, technical ability, you don't have to be the most athletic person to have technical ability. But as far as the athletic portions that make you flow, that go with the defensive prowess, to where you can look extra slick with the feints, to where you can have that extra, what's the word I'm looking for? You can have that God damn it, the word I'm freaking looking for. You can have that that
Oh.
ability to make your face build illusions in the ring to where it creates this level of elusiveness through your attributed talents, like a Joshua, for instance. People had to see firsthand that he could fight off of the back foot. And I try to tell people for a long time, I done seen dude dance. He can flow. You know, Dillian Whyte, you can see in his legs, you can see in his movements. He kind of moves like a platypus a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
And his legs are kind of floppy and they're kind of weird. So he's limited. He's kind of like plop, 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 plop. Like, you know, and that's just who he is. That's just his genetic makeup, and he can't change that. So, you know, I understand completely what Croy is saying when it comes to a ceiling, because there are other fighters, you know, like, let's say, for instance, let's use Tank, for instance. If Tank cared about boxing right now, there's nothing fucking Tank couldn't do. He'd make motherfucking Lomachenko look stupid with all of the athleticism, all of the intangibles, and all of the power and all of the ability he had with the type of person he could be at 130 if he really fucking cared. Lomachenko wouldn't be able to touch him. Wouldn't be able to touch him.
If I give you another example too, like you remember the fight Dillian Whyte and Oscar Rivas, right? Yep. So like Troy say, Dillian Whyte hit his ceiling. Give Oscar Rivas 2-3 more fights, because he ain't hit his ceiling. He come back and he beat Dillian Whyte.
Yeah. See that? Like Oscar Rivas, he another one. He got the ability to flow. It was just he was overwhelmed with size, reach, and didn't know that guy was gonna pump out that jab like that. That jab, like, I was shocked. He kept that stick on him.
Yo, I was really shocked because I ain't seen Whyte fight like that. Now I tell you what. He fight a fight. He worked that jab like that with Fury and slip that hook. He might get something done. You know, work that body. If he worked that jab like that with Fury, he might get something done. I'm not saying he's gonna beat my boy, but you know, he might give him a lot more problems. If he worked that jab like that.
Yeah, man. I just truly believe that, you know, with the abilities that Dillian Whyte has. That's why I said that, you know, that's why I just firmly believe that Mark Tibbs is perfect for him, because Mark Tibbs solely focused on making the fundamentals sound and mastering the fundamentals, and everything else in boxing falls into place. Because if you got if you perfect the fundamentals of boxing, you know, your areas in freestyle, or what people would call, actors would call improv, are going to be flawless in the ring. Because when you want to go outside of technique and flow, you've already got everything mastered, so you can go right back into it and get studious. But when you see moments when you can step out of that shit and flow and want to add a little extra, you can do that too. But see, Dillian Whyte, just like Croy is saying, he has a ceiling, and that's due to his intangibles and that's athleticism. So I wanted him to stay with Mark Tibbs, so Mark Tibbs could show him how to conceal those things he lacks and really continue to perfect the things that he's good at. So it's more concealed. Now it might be revealed to the world.
I agree. I agree with what you're saying. I take your point. If we, I know we can remember Joshua's loss, and Joshua made some changes in his camp. He lost weight.
Footwork, massive footwork improvement. Massive footwork improvement.
Yeah,
man, he was fast, man.
Fighting long, using the ring, the being more ring generalship.
He never stayed still.
And you know what else too?
That's a corner at work there. I'm going to let you in the, but that's another example of your team.
Cheap boogie.
Of your team working with you, you know.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And the thing that I really liked about what Anthony Joshua did, like Anthony Joshua went and got Angel Fernandez, and the reason I really like that is because Angel Fernandez was the perfect person to understand what was going on with Andy Ruiz. But it was beyond the fact that everybody, as soon as Anthony Joshua took that loss, every motherfucking body you possibly could think of came out of the woodworks and they said they were willing to train him, or they wanted to train him, or they wanted to work with him. You know, before that, he was just a robot, but as soon as he lost, you wanted to capitalize on the money situation. So I'm glad Anthony Joshua really sat back and really took time to think about who he was going to pick, and he picked Angel. And all you saw when him and Angel was working was Angel would be at his chest, like holding him, like having them focus on the inside, how to get out, rotating constantly, and pumping that jab out. And then they brought guys in like Tabiti. They brought this other guy out of Philly. I'm trying to remember his name. Dude's name, man. They brought the cat out of Philly. He was on. He hit up AJ. Dude started like blowing up everything to try to get in the camp. And then they eventually sent him a ticket. He went out there. He was on like a 1-week trial and ended up being there the whole freaking camp. And the thing is, he duplicated Andy Ruiz style to the T. Fast like him, vicious like him, ferocious like him.
What you talking about, Tabiti?
Not Tabiti. It was this dude from Philly who only had like 5 professional fights. He texted KD. He went on AJ page and looked at all the people that were close to him and started looking at their name and realized like KD was closer to him and stuff like that. So he hit up KD. KD got with him, hit him back or whatever, started talking. He sent him his video. Then they sent him a plane ticket. He went over there. He didn't even know when he sparred the first time. He sparred him 2 times at first. He didn't know after that second spar, they just kept him there. But he didn't know until KD and them tell him. He was like, yo, you were on a freaking 1 spar, 2 spar basis, and we were going to pack you up and send you back to America. And he ended up being there for the whole camp and the fight. And I'm telling you, D, if you find this guy, I'm trying to remember his name, just off the information I give you, if you just use random word and to try to find it. If you find this dude's fight, bro, you're going to see what I'm talking about. The dude ferocious. He like a black version of Andy, bro. That's where Joshua was so ready, bro. He was so war ready, bro, because that dude, Tabiti, and who else did they bring in? But it was really Tabiti and him, though.
Yeah, because Tabiti had some fast-ass hands, bro.
Yeah, but this dude was built just like Andy Ruiz, black, fast like that, heavy hands, and just, man, he could just get it done, man. He was getting it done. And that's who Anthony Joshua was sparring with most of the time because he literally was he was a black version of Andrew Ruiz, man.
Yeah. The decisions that are made in your camp, it cannot be underrated. It can't be overlooked. Camps are always important. Your team is always important. That's behind you. And if we can think about it, what are some of the more successful teams? What are the best teams around now?
Garcia.
Robert
Garcia.
Garcia has a good team around him. I think Canelo has a good team around him. When you're talking about, and if we go back a bit, Floyd Mayweather had a good team around him. But that was an excellent team because his family are a family of boxers. They know boxing.
Hey, Croy, Shakur Stevenson has an excellent team. He's got Terrence Crawford, Bo Mack, and Jamel Herring over there to bring him up.
Yeah. If we pay some attention to some of these teams that are in boxing now and check the success rate of their fighters or how good their fighters look in tough fights, I think we'll ascertain to a level the importance of your team.
You
see where I'm going, and
for sure.
It's still in keeping with what Two Hands' main topic is today with Dillian Whyte. It kind of goes back to who is in your team, who you're getting rid of, who you're adding to your team.
Timothy Moulton.
I think, I don't like to mention Wilder, but I think he could get rid of some people out of his team. I think He
Yeah,
targeted
the whole goddamn lot of them. Every fucking one of them.
Get rid of them bastards. Oh yeah, dude name was Timothy Moulton though.
Oh,
Dude
Timothy
name was Timothy Moulton.
I already know about him, Two Hands. Yeah.
So go YouTube a Timothy Moulton like training or fight. Yeah.
I already know about him. Yeah, he damn sure. Man,
Yeah, Slim came in there. It was just perfect, man. Anthony Joshua really put his work in for that camp.
Say again.
But look, let me ask you
Yeah,
this.
bro, he like a Black Louise, man.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Two Hands.
What's goody?
Who Anthony Joshua? Hold on, let me turn the camera on for this one so you can see my face. Who Anthony Joshua gonna get to come in there and box like Fury?
Trouble, you know.
For real, I think Anthony Joshua's going to bring in like. I think honestly, I don't even think it's about moving like Fury. I just think it's about. I mean, honestly, I would bring in. You know what I mean? Like I would bring in. Like I would see if Vladimir Klitschko wants to come in. I would see if
one of Angelo Dundee's
relatives.
relatives.
Marius Watt want to come in. I would see if Marius Watt want to come in. I would see if Martin Bacoli want to come in. I would see if man, for real, it's not even about.
I got it for real. I got the person for real, and he don't even like his goddamn relative. He should bring Huey Fury in there. That'll be some spiteful shit right there, though.
That'd be messed up. Yo, that'd be good warfare, though. That'd be great mental warfare.
It would.
I'm that type petty.
But DJ, who would Tyson Fury bring in there if he's going to fight Joshua?
Well, see, that's the thing. Neither of these guys really have the guy to prepare them for the other one, but Tyson Fury got more. I feel like more options because you can't it's much harder to even attempt to replicate what Fury does. You understand what I'm saying? But you can replicate a lot of the things that Joshua does because he's a systematic boxer. He's of the sweet science. There's nothing unorthodox or awkward about what he does. He just does what he does well. You understand? So you can replicate that. You can't replicate Fury. He's too fucking awkward. The herky-jerky moves, you know what I mean? It's nothing you can do to replicate that. So I do think that both of these guys have a job trying to get somebody in the camp, Well, I just think that Joshua's camp has a tougher job.
Man, you want to know what I do? I just tell Eddie Hearn to make that damn DAZN boxing, that DAZN super smart ass boxing dummy. I tell him make that joint about 6'9", 7 feet tall, and have that joint on the track moving and shit. And I'll be boxing at that joint all day. No bullshit. I'll use that in simulation.
7 foot boxing dummy.
Right. 7 foot motherfucking boxing dummy with the movements and shit. Like B-Ball was trying to hit, man. B-Ball couldn't even hit that joint.
Yeah.
It's important to team because it take a lot of thought have to go into it, So you need people who know the game. Yeah.
That's why you bring in Huey Fury.
Got what I'm telling you, dog. Now that's the snake move. That's my boy, but dog, that's a terrible move right there.
That's war tactic. That's warfare tactics right there.
Yo, he can't stand Tyson Fury. I think that'll be the perfect move.
That's how you break a king right there. Take his motherfucking brother or take his cousin or something and bust him all the fuck up and send him home. Oh yeah, you'll take his heart because Gypsy's all about family and prideful about getting their ass whooped.
Then it might get in Fury head before the fight. He got my motherfucking cousin over there.
I can hear Fury now on a goddamn Instagram right now ranting and shit with the phone on the fucking with the phone on the 6x9 and shit like, listen here, you fucking shit house. It's like you think you're fucking funny, you bust out my fucking cousin, you bring him in your sparring camp, you listen here, you fucking mug. When I get my hands on you, I'm gonna slap shit out your dusser.
It would be a good psychological move, I think. psychologically, I think that would be one up on Tyson Fury because
Oh yeah.
it would anger him out of his, it would get him, it would kind of push him out of his normal shape, mentally.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing Fury ain't listening to this live. Cause he be like, DJ, what kind of fucking fan are you, man? You putting that idea out there? Yeah, nigga, I want to see a good fight. I don't even care, bro. Like, just like Mr. Two Hands said, that's warfare. If they can make that happen, shit, man, that's warfare. Dog. You gotta win. You got to win, dog. You can do it, Fury. You can beat him.
Hey, who trained Oscar for his fight with Floyd? It wasn't Senior, was it?
For the Oscar fight?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Floyd. It was Roger. Floyd, because Floyd just got out of jail. He wanted to train Oscar for it because that was Floyd's biggest fight of his career. And him and Roger was beefing behind that shit when they was at the gym because he was mad that he wouldn't drop motherfucker Roger and go back with Floyd. But I'm like, bro, you the one who got your ass locked up. He's working with Roger. You can be in there and give him pointers. Just be happy for your son. The fact is, he got popped.
I'm talking about the conflict of interest thing where it's like family against family. It wasn't Daddy Mayweather in the corner, or Oscar versus Floyd Jr., was it?
Nah, that's what Oscar fired him. But Floyd did that for a reason. And Floyd Sr. knew what it was. It was a competitive thing. He was training Oscar. It was a challenge of him and his father versus brother and son. Brother versus brother.
A cookout all over again, cuz.
That's exactly what it was. And they wanted that bragging right. But see, Oscar fired him because he felt like he couldn't trust him because it was his son. But he don't know what type of family that is.
Yeah, he would have been fine, man.
Yeah, nah. You would have probably won that fight if you would have had him in your corner. You dummy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you chose to go with, Freddie Roach. Hey, he tried to do the best he could, which had you in the best shape, had you reinvigorated. He said it was one of your best camps. But, dude, you had the chance to have this man who's been training him since he was a child. A child, a baby. He birthed that boy. He the one who shot him out in this world. And you going to sit up there and tell him, no, you not going to run with him? Like, nah, all right, cool. Go ahead and get your ass beat then, dummy. And really, what was going on between Floyd and his family was more important than the Oscar. I mean, not saying the Oscar fight was bad; it was a good fight. But I'm just saying, all of the beef between the Mayweathers at the time was some real serious shit. So people got to ask themselves, how tough are these fighters, and how much you really putting on these fighters when you think about all of the shit Floyd Mayweather had to go through day in, day out, and you witnessed his life unfold right in front of your face. Every time his father, aunt, uncle, 7 different bitches, fights, this and that, constantly, drama, and you still cool, calm, and collected and go out that joint and outbox everything beautifully. Like, man, you got to be a tough individual, man, to make it out of Grand Rapids.
He should have had a few performances like Oliver McCall with all that turmoil behind the scenes, man. Like, that motherfucker should have been crying.
Look, man, one of the things that hurt him to the core to this day, one of the biggest things that hurt that man to this day is the fact that Roger is not here, man. Roger ain't here. The fact that Roger's not here, that's one of the biggest things that's hurt him. And the fact that his daughter acting out right now, man, Floyd dealing with a lot, man.
But Jay, interesting what you said there, Jay, and Two Hands, because I kind of watched some documentaries on Floyd, and I found out that Floyd preferred when his uncle was training him, because Floyd always talk about him becoming a man and being his own man. And I thought when his dad was training him, Floyd just thought, yes, he was a good trainer, but he also he never just behaved like a trainer. He also kind of behaved like his dad. So he would tell Floyd, sort of even outside of training now, like what to do, where to go, and so on. And the uncle gave Floyd a bit more wiggle room to sort of be.
Let him be a man. Let him.
To sort of be a man. And I thought that helped Floyd, because even in more recent times, when Floyd, I see some more recent interviews with Floyd, where Floyd would be saying on the interviews like, I don't train. I when some guys get up at a certain time in the morning and train, or at a certain time and train, he says for a long time,
3 a.m., 2 a.m.,
didn't do that.
run from the strip club, shit
Yeah,
like
he
that.
says,
He's an animal.
exactly. He said he will just be coming from the club, and he just says he will just say to his friends, I feel like jogging, and just get out of the car and just jog in his clothes that he wore to the club. So Floyd knew that he had the intrinsic motivation. He knew that he would train. He just didn't want somebody to have that kind of daddy thing about him.
Because the thing that really blew me, right, is because, okay, Floyd Sr. gets locked up, but before even when he gets locked up and shit like that, he gets shot. You know what I'm saying? He got shot.
Dude, that's what I was about to say, man.
He fucked up his own box. His own boxing career was messed up. He was running around doing it there. He did. Now, Floyd got muscle memory for fucking, that millions of terabytes of muscle memory of boxing in his head downloaded. Millions of terabytes, literally. And, this dude is grown up now. He's experienced stuff. Now, you get out of freaking prison. You come back. You trying to control this whole man life and still treat this boy like he a kid. Trying to control his gym, walk around his gym, trying to control everything. It's like, man, you need to understand what you did for your son. You did what a father was supposed to do. You put your son in a better position than you were in, and you should pat yourself on the back for that. But for you to try to live vicariously through your son, you need to sit the fuck down. You embarrassing yourself.
That's it. Well said, two hands. And I think because I'm not deviating from the topic at all, because it still goes back to who is in your corner. Because if at certain times in Floyd's career, he still had his dad as his trainer with that same kind of attitude, I think eventually Floyd would put in sort of lesser performances and might have ended up losing a fight or two if his dad continued to be his trainer. So it comes back down to
but look at how it works out though, because Floyd, I watch a lot of things about Floyd. Floyd's cocky in his profession because he was an infamous guy, but he's very humble outside of the ring. He's a very giving individual. He's got a fucking heart of gold. He is a good fucking guy, and he never put down other freaking fighters for it. He always bigging up other fighters and giving them game. Now, my thing is this about Floyd that I just really, really appreciate, man. Just like this dude, just like he took his craft serious, man. And when it all worked out, in his last fight, his 49th fight, his father was in his corner. He shed tears and said, I appreciate everything you ever taught me, because he got emotional because he knew it was over. Floyd loves the ring. He loves the cheers. He loves fighting. He loves every aspect of the game. The pain is love for him. So when he sat in that moment and he knew that 49th fight was his last fight, everything hit him, taking it in, the way he was boxing Andre Berto, the way he was fighting on the front foot in the 49th fight, the way he was literally taking it to him in like the 4th and 5th round and stuff like that when his father told him to press him and shit. And he looked at his dad and he was just like, man, I just want to thank you for everything you ever taught me, everything you ever did for me and stuff like that. And his father was looking at him like, man, I know, man, I got you, man. It's all good. But that's the type of tough guy, homely, like, hard dexterity relationship they had to have to make it. They grew up in Grand Rapids, Michigan. You know what they call Grand Rapids? They call it Gun Rule, Michigan, because gun rules that city. That shit is bad, bro. Like this dude, like, man, Floyd is something that people could look at and you truly could admire. Fuck what you say about the annex, man. Look at the man.
Floyd Sr. shouldn't even be alive right now, bro. The only reason he is because he used Floyd Jr. as a baby, as a human shield, and the dude turned the shotgun from his chest to his leg. I mean, that shows you how much he cared about his fucking son. Roger was the one who loved him, bro.
Roger loved the fuck out of him. And that's why him and Roger was always so close. That's why when Roger got sick, Floyd made sure he had the best of everything. He didn't pay for nothing. Roger was always well taken care of. But see, this is the thing, though. Sometimes just like, okay, there's this dynamic. Like me and my first cousin, like we grew up together like brothers and shit like that. But at the end, it's like, like literally, like always with each other. Ever since, was born, a couple years older than me. My whole thing is though, like he kind of like take to my mother better than he take to my mother, and he take to my mother better than I take to his mother better. You know what I mean? Like I can talk better to my aunt than I can talk to my mother, and he can talk better to my mother than he can than you know what I'm saying? He can talk better than his. You know what I mean? Because it's just like something like we under like I'm like her, but I got a lot of my mama in me. But he like my mama. And he is mama's son, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like these conflicts, you know what I mean? It's just like, that's just how it is. Uncles tend to bond with nephews because y'all got the same genealogy and same makeup. So
family ain't always blood, bro.
Yes, because whatever Roger was made up of, Floyd's made up of the same thing. They might have the same personality. They might, you know what I'm saying? They might have been born in the same, man, I'm kind of like in that same astrological realm, you know. So at the end of the day, man, like Roger, I could see in the personality. If you got two fucking bulls that are, alpha with the, you know what I mean, just alpha with the bravado, what do you think? What do you think he's going to take to? He's not going to be able to talk to his father. He's never going to be able to relate to him. They're never going to see eye to eye. He's going to need Roger in the middle to play mediator on both halves, to keep everything together, and at the same time be able to pull him to the side and be able to share some words with him. Because you got to be able to confide in him too.
Yeah, but you see, Floyd was able to find balance because of his uncle. That you know. Because with family, there's a sort of mental telepathy that it's not something so tangible, and sometimes you can't it's not physical. But Floyd had that balance because of Jeff. I'm not saying that his dad wasn't important, because we won't downplay the importance of anybody in his team, but he had a balance, and sort of came in the right time, because I thought Floyd got his uncle's got his uncle when he needed him most. When he needed that kind of psychological balance, he got the uncle, and I hear his uncle speak on it, that what you have to give. You have to give something to the youth. You have to allow him to be a man, and that helped Floyd. That helped to stabilize Floyd, and so that he could do well. Because a lot of the times when sportsmen are doing their thing, and what you see on the field of play or in the ring or wherever, it's a lot of the times it's a reflection of what is going on in the family, or what is going on in their private lives, a lot, in their personal lives. And sometimes your team has to be able to help you out of these situations, or help you whilst you're going through these situations. So the teams are important. Dillian need a good team right now. He doesn't have a replacement, I don't think, and he needs to. In order to replace Tibbs, he has to choose properly. He has to choose properly, because this is a man that knew you for 4 years, that has improved your overall ability, and now you have chosen not to keep him. I don't know how well like a Mayweather would do without a Jeff. I'm sure it would affect him in some ways. Probably Mayweather is just good enough that even if he never had that, he probably would still win his fights. But that can be debated, because a lot of sports is, a lot of sportsmen will tell you that sports is almost 90% psychological, 10% physical.
Mm-hmm.
So these teams are important, and let us see what happens really.
Absolutely.
I think we could be in for a surprise.
Definitely. I really think we could be in for a surprise. But one thing I do know, and we're gonna close it off, everybody can get their final thoughts. We've been on here for 3 hours rocking. One thing I do know, every time y'all motherfuckers get on here, man, when it's this group, man, I be on this joint for hours, man. I'm never on here this long.
It's the shit.
Right.
It's always this group.
Fuck party, man.
Come on.
Goddamn group.
People are on here. We never
You cool
stop.
motherfuckers. Can't stand the cool motherfuckers. So listen, man, look, we got a lot to be excited for in the sense of when the zone pops off in August, man, we all getting, you know, and that night, man, man, for real, bro, I can't even stunt. I'm kind of looking more forward to Katie Taylor, Delphine Pursunes too, than Dillian Whyte Leaves for real, because I need, and it's going to be before that fight because I need to see what Delphine going to do. She got riled. I need to see her.
When is that fight? When is that fight?
It's the I think it's the co-main. It's the co-main for the Dillian Whyte Leaves fight.
Okay.
So
that's good money. That's good money right there.
That's a goodie. That's a goodie.
Yeah. That's a great fight, man.
Yeah, man.
So we're not getting another fight until August. Just quickly, is that how it is?
Yeah, it look like we're not getting a good one to August, but we do got Carlos Takam tonight on ESPN versus Jerry Forrest.
Okay, I'm going to watch. I'm going to see if I can get that.
Yeah, I'm gonna stream that joint because I said, damn that, I cut my direct TV off. I'm like, what am I paying for direct TV for if all I use the damn Fire Stick anyway?
Yeah, I got the Roku and I don't mess with no cable or that stuff.
I'm done with digital cable, bro. That shit was like $120 a month for them premium channels and shit like that. I'm paying for premium internet.
That was a deal, man. Me and my wife, what was we paying, man? Like $2 something? $180 every month for some reason. Right, it was like $180 every month, bro. That shit was crazy,
man. But see, our joint was only like my joint was originally. It was really only. It was supposed to be 80, but that joint would come out to like 120 every month, though.
Oh yeah, that's how I was. I was supposed to be like your price, 120, and it come out the motherfucker 180 something every month. I was like, what the hell?
Like, I'm sitting up here like y'all raping the hell out of my pockets.
Man, they kill you, bro. I said, you know what? I got a trick for y'all. A service terminated.
I said, you know what? I said, let me get up on this Mercari real quick. I said, ain't no Fire Sticks in Best Buy. Let me get on Mercari real quick. Said they got something more in here. Went up and go ahead and grab me two. Slid went upstairs to Amala. Like, here you go, babe. She took that joint upstairs, hooked her joint up. Man, shoot, we good. Damn that cable. Called their ass. They try to give me every package in the world. Well, you know, NFL season ready to start. What about that Sunday ticket? Fuck you.
Yeah, and then you know what else too? Me and my wife, we was watching a lot of Netflix, and my daughters was watching YouTube. So it was really worthless anyway, because I don't even watch a lot of TV. You know what I mean? So if I did, it was Netflix. If I did, because I hate the news. I call it bad news. It's nothing good on it. So we had it for no reason, because no one was using it. My youngest daughter, the little one y'all seeing on the screen, she play on the freaking tablet or her computer or whatever, and then my 21-year-old gone half the time. Nobody was using that shit, bro.
Yeah, man, like cable's a waste of money. So what I did, right? I went ahead and canceled that. I kind of picked up another bill, but I picked up that YouTube TV. Like, we got that YouTube TV shit. But the thing about YouTube TV, that shit is $60 a month. But that joint, like, I can have on 6 different TVs in the crib, get all of the channels, all of the movies, no commercials, all of the premium movies that come on that joint and all of that stuff. I get all of that, all of the football games, basketball games, everything, bro. Everything. Yeah. It's like having the TV for real, but you got the internet though. It's like having a TV. It's like having a TV freaking subscription through goddamn YouTube, but you got every freaking channel accessible to way more stuff. DVR, all the football, basketball, hockey, boxing, you name it, bro. That joint, all right. It ain't that bad. You know what I'm saying? That's $60, but you got so many options, and you could take it on the road with you too. So when I'm on the road, I'll be on the tablet, football going on, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm using all of that too. Yeah, that joint lit. But yeah, man, I guess that's it, man. Whoever want to go ahead and start by sending us off, man, go ahead, give us just my final thoughts, man.
All right, guys.
Hold on 1 second. George, appreciate you, brother, for the $5 super chat. He says, Whyte will return the Tibbs. Pacquiao return the Roach. And that is a motherfucking fit act. All right, Croy, give it to him.
Yeah. One thing I want to leave with the boxing community tonight is watch your team. I'll tell the boxers, watch the teams. Make sure you have a proper team because it helps.
Absolutely.
That's it from me.
J Blues and boxing in the motherfucking building.
All right, two hands. Appreciate you having me, man. It's always a pleasure. D Jeff, take it easy, dude. South Korea, good seeing you, brother. It's been a minute. Hope you put another video out. I'm looking forward to that shit. Bring that goddamn music back, dude. The music on your first video was the shit was tight. I like that shit a lot.
I'm still working on a few stuff, but you'll see some uploads soon.
All right, cool, man. Cool.
All right.
My closing thought is if Dillian gets his head out of his ass and gets back with his coach, he's got to, man. He is too close to the fucking fight to find anybody of any relevance or any worth to bring to that corner to do shit. He's got to get back to the fucking his people. If he don't do that, then it's a 50-50 fight and it's up in the goddamn air. And
that's a fact, though.
Agreed.
Agreed. Well, that goes into my closing thoughts. Dillian Whyte, you idiot. How about that? Tyson Fury is going to beat the hell out of Deontay Wilder and Teofimo to take over Lopez. That's right. That's how I'm going out. Mr. Two Hands, the best in the business. Keep doing what you're doing, my man. You know how we do. For the love of sport.
Let's talk about it. Yo, man, hey, man, as always, man, South Croy, man, that's family, man. Salute. You know, you always welcome lifetime membership. J Blues and Boxing, man. That's the bro, man. He always welcome lifetime membership. D Jeff, that's the bro. Always welcome lifetime membership. You know what I'm saying, man? When you got great people, man, you got a great panel, bro. And my whole thing is this, man. These dudes right here, they drive me crazy, y'all. They drive me crazy. Because every time I get these dudes on a panel, I'm on here for 3 or 4 hours talking some good shit.
It's overtime, baby. Overtime.
They got me on OT. Now I need to smoke a J. Sit back, I'm gonna watch me a movie, but damn, man, I got to walk away with a lot of chicken soup for the fucking boxing soul, man. And that's what it's all about, man. Elevating, building, maintaining, man. Maintaining respect, honor, and dignity, man. And look, man, y'all already know how we do this shit. So as we always say at the end of this shit, it costs you nothing to pay a nigga no mind. You already know. You already know. Shout out to the gang. Once again, my nigga D, my nigga J, my nigga South Croy. Don't ask me. Jeff, you already know, brother. LaRon, Dragon Leg, whoever else in the building, George, all of y'all, salute. See y'all tomorrow. Respect. Peace.